Good morning, besties. Oh, shit. Testing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing. Can you hear me? Let me turn this down a little bit. Shout out to CDT for the beat, though. Shout out to CDT Beats. He made that for me. I appreciate you, boo. Good morning. First Sunday of 2026, child. And who's top of mind for almost everybody? Donald Trump, child. Is there anything that he is not doing? What the hell is wrong? My jacket is attacking me. Hold on. Oh, no, that's my bra. Okay, my bad. David, I thought the jacket was attacking me. Good morning, y'all. Happy Sunday to you. Please make sure you hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you are new. Share the stream. Shout out to Freezy. Share the stream. That's what he always says. I never say that. Shout out to the replayers. Make sure you comment. Hype the video. I'm late. I know I'm late. It's 11 o'clock EST, so I'm an hour late. But y'all, I got things going on, and I just got things going on. So I'm here, though. So we might go after 1 o'clock. Sorry, footballers. Who's supposed to win today? Who's playing today? Are the Eagles playing today? Y'all don't be keeping up with none of that. None of that. Good luck to the Eagles if they do play today, because it'll be a good thing for the city. Somebody said the 49ers played last night. My trainer was like, I'm going to watch the 49ers game. I'm like, all right, nigga, whatever. I don't care one damn about none of that. San Francisco, right? Oh, San Francisco 49ers. Make sure you watch that video that I released this morning, though, about reparations for San Francisco. Shout out to San Francisco. Y'all better move to San Francisco. Them reparations is coming, child. Those reparations is coming. So if you want some, black people, you better get your ass on over there and get it while it's hot, all right? Let me just leave it at that. Watch the video and you will understand. Anyway. All right, let's get serious. We need to be serious, okay? There's a lot going on. There's something wrong with y'all's president, all right? There's something wrong with 47, okay? Now, he effing around with the childcare. He effing around down there in Venezuela. And y'all already know anything that goes wrong as far as Democrats is concerned, they find a way to pull Donald Trump out of their ass and blame him for it. Hold on, hold on a second, I'm sorry. Now YouTube wants to track what I do. If y'all don't get out my face, just playing YouTube, just playing. I watch over here on my phone, so I apologize. Give me 1 second. YouTube is acting crazy. They always want something. Can you just pay me right? That's all I need from you, okay? All right, there we go. My bad. Derek, is Legend here? Good morning, Derek Gaines, because Derek Gaines is feeling some kind of way about this Venezuelan takeover, child. Venezuela, can we go to Venezuela for free now, since basically we own it, allegedly? Can we get a discount on the flights to Venezuela? Because, child, I don't know what's going on down there, but it got to be warm, so that's all I care about. Announce that, Donald Trump, okay? That rambling ass man from yesterday. If you don't go ahead somewhere, and what do we get out of this deal? Do we ever get anything? Shout out to the poors. Shout out to y'all. Y'all ain't getting nothing. Fake poors. Y'all ain't getting nothing. Middle class, y'all, we ain't getting shit either. I guess only the rich people can go there or something, child. I don't know. But we got to stay on this too. Child, Donald Trump, you're making me work. This is supposed to be a hobby. You're not supposed to be working, right? Anyway, let me go ahead and give you something funny, because I actually was trying to go over some of the other stuff that I just can't get to, because every day, damn, Donald Trump got something he's doing something. Can you sit down, please, and give us a break? Give me a break. Damn. Let me get my favorite position, pause. Who did this come from? This is from 50. Shout out to 50 Cent, trolling. And this must be a scene from, what was Dave Chappelle's show? Oh, I guess it was called Dave Chappelle's Show. Let's hear it.
What about people who say you're only interested in the Middle East for oil?
What? Huh? Oil? Who said something about oil, bitch? You cooking? Oh. Come on, y'all, get out. Trying to get that oil. Oh!
What about people who say you're only interested in the Middle East for oil?
What? Huh? Oil? Who said something about oil, bitch? You cooking? Oh. Come on, yo, get out. Trying to get that oil. Oh!
No, are they trying to say that Donald Trump is in this for oil? Ain't no way. Ain't no way. I know you effing lying. Now you over there in charge, allegedly in charge. We're gonna run this country. Ninja, who asked you to? Child, they got somebody over there, but y'all said that she was illegal too. Child, I don't know. But let's figure out what's going on with that. Then we get back to the daycare stuff and then see what the hell else that Donald Trump gets into for the headlines today. Okay, shout out to 50 Cent, Dave Chappelle. It looks like Maduro got perp walked yesterday, and I got 2 videos of that. Shout out to this lady, WTHR. Maduro arrives in U.S. after stunning capture in operations that Trump says will let U.S. run Venezuela.
Also developing this Sunday morning, the now former president of Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro, and his wife are in U.S. custody. They're in New York City. The couple is facing multiple charges and could appear in court as early as tomorrow. This comes after President Donald Trump is confirming the U.S. launched multiple strikes across Venezuela early Saturday. Maduro and his wife are now charged with narco-terrorism conspiracy, cocaine importation conspiracy, and weapons offenses as well. In the indictment, federal prosecutors say Maduro used his, quote, illegally obtained authority and the institutions he corroded to transport thousands of tons of cocaine to the United States. During a press conference in Mar-a-Lago, the president said that the U.S. will run Venezuela until there can be a, quote, safe, proper, and judicious transition to new leadership.
In addition, Venezuela unilaterally seized and sold American oil, American assets, and American platforms, costing us billions and billions of dollars. They did this a while ago, but we never had a president that did anything about it. They took all of our property. It was our property. We built it. And we never had a president that decided to do anything about it.
The Venezuelan government has appointed an acting president for now. Trump also said the U.S. military is ready to stage a second and much larger attack if needed. Secretary of State Marco Rubio says that U.S. lawmakers were not notified of this military operation ahead of time, says they were told immediately after the operation.
Child, that's like after you steal, I let you know that I stole. They said, child, y'all don't need to know. Don't worry about it. We got this. Oh, yeah, by the way, this is what happened. You know they're not happy, right? Another perp walk. Tampa Bay, Maduro arrives in the U.S. after stunning capture an operation that Trump says will let us. Wait, is that the same damn thing? Hold on. I'm looking at this hat. No, it's not the same.
We want to go to this new video this morning.
Look at this hat. No, that's one of the hats I buy for my grandchildren. It's got like the 2 puff balls at the top. Why they do that man like that?
This video appearing to show a perp walk inside a DEA office in Manhattan where Maduro was processed, fingerprinted, and photographed. Right now, Maduro and his wife, Celia Flores, are in New York City following.
Shout out to Nicole talking about equality. She could have been, what is her name? What's the DRUG Queen Pin's name? I forget her name. I forget her name. There was a show about her and the girl from Married with Children. Child, I'm old. You know what I'm talking about? Imelda. There's her name, Imelda.
What U.S. officials describe as a large-scale operation in Venezuela. Both could be arraigned as soon as tomorrow. He
ain't got no shoes on. They got him in flip-flops and socks. Where did he come from? Damn Compton or something. You see that? Look. They got him like a kid up top. They got him like a gangbanger on the bottom. Disrespectful.
A large-scale operation in Venezuela. Both could be arraigned as soon as tomorrow. They're currently being held at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn. President Donald Trump says the United States will run Venezuela, at least temporarily. Here in Florida, home to America's largest Venezuelan population, there is optimism and celebration in Miami. CBS News' Christian Benavidez is there this morning.
What's her name?
Former Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro and his wife Celia Flores stepped.
Now, this looked like a scene from Scarface. They got him. Remember when they tossed the dude out the plane? Y'all know what I'm talking about.
And celebration in Miami. CBS News' Christian Benavidez is there this morning.
Former Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro and his wife Celia Flores stepped onto American soil, chained and shackled, surrounded by a small army of federal law enforcement. Maduro will be held at New York's infamous Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn.
Is that where Diddy is? And where is the wife? We need proof of life. Where is Ms. Maduro? Where's she at?
The unsealed criminal charges against Maduro and his wife allege Maduro abused his position of trust and engaged in corruption for a quarter century.
Maduro remained in power and waged a ceaseless campaign of violence, terror, and subversion against the United States of America, threatening not only our people, but the stability of the entire region.
The Justice Department also links Maduro's alleged conspiracy to the Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua, which allegedly engaged in extortions, kidnappings, murders, and other crimes.
Is that where Tren de Aragua came from? Hold on. Y'all remember they was over there feeding dog, feeding the cat. What was they doing? It says U.S. versus Nicolas Diosdado, Ramon Rodriguez. Did they get some other people? Celia Adela Flores de Madura, Nicolas Ernesto Madura Guerrera, and Hector Rustin Forge Guerrero Flores. Oh, AKAs. All right. I'm like, where's the woman? We need to see her. Proof of life. Where's she at?
Which allegedly engaged in extortions, kidnappings, murders, and other crimes. Capturing Maduro was an audacious snatch and grab operation in Venezuela in the early hours of Saturday morning. A swarm of U.S. military helicopters, special forces units known as the Night Stalkers, descended on.
Shout out to the military. The Night Stalkers. Do they get paid extra for this?
Caracas. Explosions lit up the sky, and within 2.5 hours of U.S. forces touching down, Maduro and his wife were in custody.
This was a law enforcement exercise. It was the Department of War in support of the Department of Justice pulling out an indicted person who ultimately will face.
I don't care what nobody said. Hexeth looked good, child.
Justice.
President Trump and his team watched the mission unfold from his Mar-a-Lago home. The president said the U.S. will take over Venezuela without explaining how that's going to work, how long it could last, and whether U.S. troops would be needed to do it. He also said the U.S. will take over the country's oil reserves. Christian Benavidez, CBS News, Miami.
John, what is your name? He's saying it too fast for me. All right, so you didn't see the perp walk. We haven't seen the wife.
This is amazing.
We haven't seen the wife. Where is she? I got questions. Good morning. Shout out to Kofi. He said, thank you, Boo. He said they arrested her and put her in the, oh no. MSG on the first Sunday of 2026. Oh no, I expected more from you, Kofi. What is that? Where she was? She got cooked for her husband. That's her punishment. They said, no, you're not going to have the servants do it. You're going to do it. You better cook for this man because we not feeding him. If you don't cook for him, he won't eat. We need proof of life from the missus. That's all I'm saying, child. Let me go to CNN, child. We're going around the world today. Who is Venezuela's acting president, Delcy Rodriguez? Delcy, hey girl.
Venezuela's Supreme Court has ordered Vice President Delcy Rodriguez to assume the powers and duties of the acting president.
Well, the acting president, ain't that Donald Trump? Don't we own Venezuela now? I'm trying to understand when we gone down there for vacation.
Was announced
and frequently warned the country about the threat of foreign intervention. Crucially, as energy minister, she also has been a steady hand in funneling Venezuela's dwindling energy revenues to the regime. Seen here last month with state workers, she says, we have something to tell Mr. Trump. Venezuela doesn't owe the U.S. anything. And yet, Rodriguez has for many years been sanctioned by Canada, the EU, and the United States. CNN attempted to question her in 2016 after a CNN investigation uncovered a scheme to illegally sell Venezuelan passports out of the country's embassy in Iraq. Rodriguez.
Girl, you was selling illegal passports. Shout out to the passport bros. I ain't forgot y'all's asses. Trust me, I ain't forgot about y'all's asses.
Venezuela doesn't owe the U.S. anything. And yet, Rodriguez has for many years been sanctioned by Canada, the EU, and the United States. CNN attempted to question her in 2016 after a CNN investigation uncovered a scheme to illegally sell Venezuelan passports to the country's embassy in Iraq. Rodriguez and the foreign minister refused to comment to CNN on every occasion. In keeping with her political pedigree, Rodriguez has a less than subtle message for the Trump administration as she demanded Maduro's release. Her involvement in any future transition in Venezuela will be challenging. Paula Newton, CNN.
Joining me now from Oxfordshire is Vanessa Neumann, a Venezuelan-American diplomat, business owner, author, and political theorist. Vanessa, great to see you again. It's been a while since you and I have spoken. I know it's been a moment of celebration for many Venezuelans in and outside of the country, and also a moment of deep anxiety from the Venezuelans I've been speaking to inside the country. Just give us a sense of what you're feeling first and what the mood is from what you gather inside the country.
Indeed, and it's such a pleasure to be with you again. I've missed you. The mood in Venezuela is one of concern right now, and confusion more than anything. So there are several things. One, everybody is delighted by most people are delighted by the photograph of Maduro, handcuffed and with the blind.
Most people are excited about this. Allegedly.
Folds in the earmuffs on the Iwo Jima, heading back to the United States. It reminded me of the capture of Abimael Guzman, who later The Shining Path was put in a cage. It made him human. It took away the terror and all this fear that Venezuelans have had with these 18,000 political prisoners and extrajudicial killings and tortures. He seemed like a superhuman who could never be captured. And now we know he is human. He can be captured. People within the Maduro enclave can be captured, and we can one day have democracy again. So that's hope. That's one sentiment. On the other sentiment.
Oh, they want democracy. Oh, then they should be happy that he's in charge, allegedly.
There is great concern about the fact that Delcy Rodriguez, who is not a nice woman, but is very, very intelligent. She's multilingual, fluent in English and French, and the chief negotiator, I have seen it firsthand. I haven't been fed this by the U.S. government or the Venezuelan opposition. I have been present during phone calls where people were negotiating with her to give Maduro money or to keep Maduro in power. So I am aware of that. And she will give a little dance to the Trump team who think that she will be their puppet, but she's nobody's puppet. However, that's one thing. I think they will get tired of being danced around by her, Rubio and Hegseth. And on the other hand, she faces a huge challenge because she's not in the military, like Diosdado Cabello and Padrino Lopez, who's the two military, one's the head of the military and the other one is
All right, she's boring me. Moving on. Let's go to Fox. Let's see what Fox has to say. It says that the Democrats are furious. Oh, no. Ahead of emergency caucus meeting on Maduro's capture. So now they scheduled a meeting for Okay? They scheduled a meeting for
Democrats have been up in arms about Maduro's capture, but the administration tonight continues to defend the president's actions.
We call members of Congress immediately after. This was not the kind of mission that you can do congressional notification on. It was a trigger-based mission in which conditions had to be met night after night. We watched and monitored that for a number of days. So it's just simply not the kind of mission you can call people and say, hey, we may do this at some point in the next 15 days.
House Democrats, meantime, will hold an emergency caucus meeting tomorrow following the military operation in Venezuela and the capture of Mr. Maduro. It'll be held virtually. To speak more about the congressional reaction, let's bring in South Carolina Congresswoman, the great Nancy Mace. Always great to have you with us, Congresswoman. Real honor. Appreciate your time tonight. I just have to say, I thought Secretary Rubio hit the nail on the head. You can't, let's be honest, those of us who've been in the Beltway know how this goes. You can't exactly get out there and start sharing all of these details with some congressional lawmakers. First of all, there's a security aspect. And second of all, they didn't exactly have the timing knocked down. Am I right about that?
No, that's right. And at this point, Kevin, I don't see a reason to have any congressional action. This was a very surgical military apprehension for a fugitive. It was not an act of war. And so, I'm going to push back on Democrats that say that it is. And look, they've defended Iranian terrorism. They've defended terrorism in South America now with Maduro. And, we've got to make sure that we're pushing back. And Trump was right today. Trump talked about and discussed the Monroe Doctrine and discussed how this was a fugitive that we've got to bring in for the narco-terrorism. And quite frankly, I don't even think it compares to Panama, which is to me, a different situation. Thousands of troops. We had nothing of the sort today. We had no American troops killed in action. Thank God. They did a very good job. And the one thing I've learned about Donald Trump and the Trump doctrine is that when he sets his mind to it, he's very surgical in his military movements. And it's why he's had a resounding success in Venezuela and around the world.
Also, the action in Iran, obviously, with the strikes on that nuclear facility. And I'm glad you mentioned the Noriega precedents. I found it hypocritical that there were some Democratic lawmakers that were suggesting this was somehow unbelievable, when, in fact, if you just go back a little bit, whether it's Obama and other parts of Syria, et cetera, we have seen actions that take place. But this wasn't exactly even that. As you point out, I think very aptly, we're talking about someone who had...
So it sounds like he's saying, but they did it, but y'all didn't have a problem. But now when Trump does it, it's a problem. Child, we already know how that goes. Right? No matter what that man does.
Because Trump bad. Trump bad.
Again!
Because Trump bad. Trump bad.
Go where you're being a racist! Racist!
Had been indicted in the Southern District of New York.
That's right. And in the Noriega situation, when President Bush was there, that situation was 24,000 American troops for an extended period of time for months during.
Wait, what did Joe Biden do? Hold on. Let's go back. Hold on. Because we got to hear this, child. Because, everybody can forgive everybody and then forget what they want to forget.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
As you point out, I think very aptly, we're talking about someone who had been indicted in the Southern District of New York.
That's right. And in the Noriega situation, when President Bush was there, that situation was 24,000 American troops for an extended period of time for months during that operation. 500 killed in action on the Panamanian side. We did lose some American soldiers devastatingly in that situation. But this is very, very different. The other thing that I want to talk about, too, Kevin, is that Democrats today are upset that Trump said that America would run Venezuela. Well, after World War II, it was General MacArthur who was in Japan, running Japan from 1945 to 1952. And it would be great to see Venezuela to be a free country, engaged in trade with our allies like Japan at some point one day. And I trust Donald Trump and the Trump doctrine.
And you make an excellent point, because if you think about it, especially when you listen to the denizens of that great nation, they frankly want the person who actually won the election to be the leader of that country. But in the interim, this is a power vacuum, as the president pointed out today, that the United States will try to help.
Oh, look at that picture, y'all. Wow, that's a bad picture, y'all. That is a bad picture right there. I ain't even gonna front.
Fill until they can again make a stable, peaceful, and judicious transfer of power in Venezuela. Very quickly, I did want to get your take on this, and that is when you're talking about the power vacuum. This is a delicate circumstance, is it not, for this administration? How do you go about making sure that you put a person in leadership there that the people want, but also don't end up back in a situation where you have someone who wants to play footsie with terrorism and narco-terrorism?
Well, you look at the Monroe Doctrine. I mean, we can't have an axis of evil of China, Iran, and Russia having a footprint in South America. And I trust President Trump. I trust Secretary Rubio and Secretary Hegseth. I trust them to already have a plan in place. They've already probably practice it. They know who they're going to have on the ground assisting in that endeavor. And the last thing I want to say, Kevin, tonight is that I hope that China and Russia and Iran have their number 2 pencils out and are taking notes. I believe this was very important action today that will have devastating consequences on our enemies. And I hope they're paying attention, because Donald Trump means business.
That he does. And then you mentioned, especially from an energy perspective, if you are Russia, and to say nothing of China's interest in this particular region, which of course is antithetical to the Monroe or Trump doctrine. Big messaging sent indeed today. Congresswoman Nancy Mace, a real honor and pleasure. Thank you so much.
Shout out to Nancy Mace. She said, look into it and shut the F up. I think it's Jean Lee that said to look at the Monroe doctrine. I will, first of all, ain't nobody reading it. Second of all, I will get a summary of it, and then we'll take a look at that briefly. But let me go on over here to Philly, child. I didn't know we had all these Venezuelans around here like this, but I guess so. It says Philadelphia sees protests, celebrations after U.S. strikes on Venezuela and Maduro capture. Child, don't we have more important things to be doing? Anybody from Philly in here?
Reaction here at home after the U.S. carried out strikes against the South American country and captured their leader. Some folks celebrating while others protesting the move by the Trump administration. But there is one common factor: their love for Venezuela. Our Jennifer Lee has more tonight from Center City.
The local Venezuelan community is still processing the U.S. strikes on Venezuela. Some are celebrating and others are cautiously optimistic as they wait to see what happens next.
Que viva Venezuela libre. Looking for freedom. for justice.
Betty fled Venezuela 2 decades ago, but her love for her home country, family, and friends have always remained strong. Now, hours after the U.S. confirmed strikes on Venezuela and the capture of leader Nicolas Maduro, Betty was out celebrating on Broad Street with her husband Ryan, proudly holding up the flag of Venezuela.
We were very happy to find out around 4 a.m. that Maduro was taken. That's only half the job so far, but it's a big step for us. So very happy about that.
There's still a couple more power struggles that have to disappear before we're going to see some real progress. But we're very thankful on what Trump has done, and we hope that he sees it through.
But just a few blocks away, several activist organizations protested outside Philadelphia City Hall, speaking up against the Trump administration's attack on Venezuela. The event, organized by Peace, Justice, Sustainability Now.
Regardless of what you think of Nicolas Maduro, and we're no fan, this was an illegal action, and we don't believe you solve problems through force. We believe you solve problems through diplomacy.
I woke up.
Oh, we don't believe that you solve problems through force. These probably the same people that turn around and say, if you don't think you're a criminal, then you're not a criminal. Now we know there's a gray area. We read that yesterday, that there's a gray area, whether this was legal or illegal or not. So, that's up to them politicians to decide or figure out tomorrow when they start their hearings, if that really does come to pass, right? This sounds liberal. Shout out to Philly. This what we doing. Child, don't y'all need to go to the tailgate? Are the Eagles playing today? Lord.
Venezuela, the event organized by Peace, Justice, Sustainability Now.
Regardless of what you think of Nicolas Maduro, and we're no fan, this was an illegal action, and we don't believe you solve problems through force. We believe you solve problems through diplomacy.
I woke up to the news that the United States kidnapped the president of Venezuela, which is ridiculous. The United States has to get out of everywhere. No war on Venezuela.
Now, just as a question, let me go back to this liberal white woman, and you know how I feel about liberal white women, right? If somebody comes over allegedly, and kidnaps Trump, you think these people would be out here saying, this is not right, this is illegal, oh my God. I feel like a lot of things are just to be combative against Donald Trump, right? We've seen that, TDS in full effect. Again, whether this is like totally legal, but then like Nancy just said, you're supposed to go have some hearings and tell everybody what you're about to do, so that they had a warning on what was to pass, even though they kind of should have known, since he kind of said, get your shit together, or we coming after you. I'm just saying.
Solve problems through diplomacy.
I woke up to the news that the United States kidnapped the president of Venezuela, which is ridiculous. The United States has to get out of everywhere. No war on Venezuela.
I'm actually a historian.
United States has to get out of everywhere. These will be the same people that will turn around talking about, you have to give people food stamps. You have to find housing for everybody. You have to do this. You have to do that. Now all of a sudden, oh my God, no, you can't do this. You can't do that. These are probably the same people that did a No Kings protest and turned around and started asking for shit.
I woke up to the news that the United States kidnapped the president of Venezuela, which is ridiculous. The United States has to get out of everywhere. No war on Venezuela.
I'm actually a historian, a world historian. I specialize in Venezuela. And when I woke up to find out the atrocities that were being committed by our government, again, I thought it was a necessary and important thing.
Casa de Venezuela Philadelphia has been uplifting the local Venezuelan community since 2004. Co-founder Emilio Buitrago says many Venezuelans want a path to future democracy, but says President Trump's plan to work with Maduro's vice president left many of them feeling bittersweet.
If Trump really has a path for democracy restitution in Venezuela, he needs to bring into the table the Venezuelan elected president, Edmundo Gonzalez, and also Maria Corina Machado, who is the second person that, helped to have legal and free elections last year.
As many continue processing these major developments, those with loved ones back in Venezuela remain optimistic about the country's future.
The Venezolano in Philadelphia and United States really, really happy for this action.
It means freedom for my country. It means freedom for my people, for my family. It means possibilities for a future.
We're told members of Casa de Venezuela Philadelphia and Gente de Venezuela will be attending the Sunday noon mass at Cathedral Basilica of Saints Peter and Paul, then head over to Love Park for a vigil. In Center City, Jennifer Lee, Fox 20.
Okay, noted. Don't go to Love Park. I wasn't going into the city anyway. Let's see. Moving on, child. Oh, no. Let me go ahead and go over here. I looked up, or I asked ChatGPT, child. It says Monroe Doctrine is the quick, clear summary. The Monroe Doctrine from 1823 was a U.S. foreign policy statement made by President James Monroe. Its core message was simple. Europe must stop colonizing or interfering in the Americas. Any European attempt to control nations in the Western Hemisphere would be seen as a threat to U.S. security. In return, the U.S. would not interfere in European affairs or existing European colonies. It is why it matters. It asserted U.S. influence over the Western Hemisphere. It aimed to protect newly independent Latin American countries. It laid the groundwork for the U.S. acting as a regional power, even though the U.S. initially lacked the military strength to enforce it. It says the long-term impact is later presidents used it to justify U.S. intervention in Latin America. What? Who? I'll look at that while the next one plays. It evolved from a defensive policy into a tool for expanding U.S. political and economic influence. One line takeaway is Europe stays out of the Americas, the U.S. stays out of Europe. All right, that's the summary, okay? Anyway, there you go. I'm gonna look at this other part where it says later presidents used it to justify U.S. intervention in Latin America. See what goes on there. In the meantime, over here on looks like What the Fuck TV, it says protest celebrations in Florida after U.S. forces raid Venezuela and capture Maduro. We ain't gonna listen to all this. It's about 8 minutes.
Reacting to the news of the capture of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro with anger and excitement. Good morning, everyone. It is Sunday, January 4th. I'm Sam Martello. Your time right now is 5 o'clock. We're going to have more on that top story here in just a minute. But first, we take you to a live look at Lake Eola in downtown Orlando. Things are quiet to get our Sunday started. We're going to check the forecast now with certified meteorologist Cassie Crimmy.
And we had some of those late night evening showers across Central Florida with this front. Currently hasn't worked its way fully through Central Florida, the front that is. Most of the rainfall has, though. We get down a little bit closer to home. You can see we are dry to begin the day. We're going to see some cloud cover. And now we're actually going to get some of these clouds settling closer to the surface. Look at the visibility issues we're seeing. Fog and thick in many spots. Visibility down to 0.3 of a mile there in Sanford, 0.9 of a mile.
Are waking up in a New York City detention center. They were captured by U.S. forces and landed Saturday evening at Stewart Airport in Orange County, New York, escorted off the plane by more than a dozen federal agents. NYPD blocking off streets as a heavy security motorcade carrying Maduro made its way to the Manhattan detention center. President Trump announcing his capture Saturday, posting this picture showing the Venezuelan leader in U.S. custody. According to two sources, the military operation was carried out by the Army's Delta Force after the CIA identified the leader's precise location.
Over the course of the night, aircraft began launching from 20 different bases on land and sea across the Western Hemisphere. In total, more than 150 aircraft, bombers, fighters, intelligence, reconnaissance, surveillance, rotary wing were in the air last night.
The president now saying the U.S. will run Venezuela until there can be a transition of power, and also says he has not ruled out boots on the ground.
Are you saying that Secretary Hegseth and Rubio are going to be running Venezuela, and will you be sending in U.S. military troops to provide?
Team that's working with the people of Venezuela to make sure that we have Venezuela right. Because for us to just leave, who's going to take over? I mean, there is nobody to take over.
Venezuela's vice president demanding the immediate release of Maduro and his wife, saying Venezuela has a duty to safeguard its sovereignty that has been attacked. Secretary of State Marco Rubio says Congress was not notified prior to the mission, saying doing so would have, quote, endangered the mission. On Capitol Hill, at least 4 House Republicans releasing statements criticizing this military operation in Venezuela. Democrat leaders in both the House and Senate are calling for an immediate briefing for the Gang of Eight and a full briefing for all members of Congress next week. Lionel Moyes, ABC News, New York.
All right, maybe we'll be able to see it. All right, back over here to the Monroe Doctrine, child. So I just asked which presidents, right? So they said, excuse me, James Polk, Theodore Roosevelt, William Taft, Woodrow Wilson, Franklin Roosevelt, Cold War presidents, Truman, Eisenhower, Kennedy, blah, blah. So then I said, which recent presidents, you know what I'm saying? So we can see some of the newer people that we know, like, have been under. So it says Reagan from 81 to 89. Shout out to the 80s, child. Cold War revival of the Monroe Doctrine, used it to block communism in the Western Hemisphere, intervened directly or covertly in Nicaragua, El Salvador, and Grenada. Framed Latin America as a U.S. sphere of influence that must stay free of foreign Soviet and Cuban control. George H.W., 89 to 93, what, he just took it over? Invaded Panama to remove Manuel Noriega, justified intervention as protecting U.S. citizens, regional stability, U.S. interests. Still operating under Monroe Doctrine logic, U.S. decides order in the hemisphere. Bill Clinton. Damn, they just keep taking it over. 93, maybe that's when he was president. 93 to 2001. Less less militaristic, but still interventionist, intervened in Haiti in 94 to restore a government, expanded U.S. economic dominance through trade agreements, shift from troops to political and economic control. George W. Bush, 2001 to 2009, focused on the Middle East, but continued influence in Latin America through security cooperation, counter-narcotics operations. I'm sensing the theme, child. I'm sensing the theme. Monroe Doctrine influence still present, though less explicit. Barack Obama, 2009 to 2017, publicly stated the U.S. was moving away from Monroe Doctrine style policy. Normalized relations with Cuba, still maintain U.S. regional influence. Well, shout out to Barack. Attempted rhetorical break, not full abandonment. Then you have Trump from 2017 to 2021, explicitly invoked the Monroe Doctrine. Administration officials openly referenced it, applied pressure to Venezuela, Cuba, and Nicaragua. Clear revival of Monroe Doctrine language in modern policy. So not what Barack was doing. Joe Biden, 2021 to the present, it said avoids Monroe Doctrine language, continues U.S. involvement via sanctions, diplomacy, and economic pressure, which is basically what the protester wants. That's what I think. And same influence with a different tone. All right. So in recent history, it says Reagan and Trump most clearly invoked Monroe Doctrine style policy, while Bush, Clinton, Obama, and Biden, I wonder what the difference is there. Continued U.S. influence in Latin America through military, economic, or diplomatic means. All right. So I guess it just matters on which side, which political side you're on as to how it is that you're going to handle shit. So that makes sense that the Democrats are upset. But let's see what TikTok has to say about what's going on in Venezuela. Oh, my bad. No, this is I'm sorry, this is BCP. He says he did a video, liberal media and communists lose their minds demanding Trump free social dictator after takeover. Oh, send him back. Send him back. Where the wife? We need to see the wife.
Normal. Holding this operation while he's in Mar-a-Lago, not normal. Why was he not in DC when this major operation of going into Venezuela and taking Maduro happened? Yes, Trump went in, launched attacks, and captured the president Maduro and has him in custody. During this press conference, he says Maduro has been charged in the Southern District of New York for his drug trafficking crimes. He said that the United States is going to basically govern Venezuela for now until they can do a peaceful transfer of power to new leaders. And it sounds like it's going to be Gonzalez and Machado. So, guys, this is really wild what's happening here. This is not normal. Having the U.S. military go in and invade a country without authorization from Congress.
What do you make?
This is not normal, y'all. This is not normal.
This is it's a very, very big development in a months-long effort against Venezuela.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really interested to hear what the president has to say in his remarks from the White House that are planned for just a little under an hour from now. Ali, I feel like in your heart of hearts, when you think about what the United States
damn girl, you are not aging well, child. You probably should quit.
Just did. I think there are very few Americans right now who have any idea why the United States did this.
So we are going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. We're going to stay until such time as we're going to run it, essentially, until such time as a proper transition can take place.
I mean, so much to absorb there.
All the way back, it dated to the Monroe Doctrines. And the Monroe Doctrine is a big deal, but we've superseded it by a lot, by a real lot. They now call it the Donroe Document. I don't know. It's Monroe Doctrine. We sort of forgot about it. It was very important, but we forgot about it. We don't forget about it anymore. Under our new national security strategy, American dominance in the Western Hemisphere will never be questioned again. Won't happen.
So we got to continue our coverage of the aftermath of President Trump launching a historic military operation to overthrow and arrest socialist dictator of Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro, okay? Because as we talked about in the first video of today, Venezuelans across the globe, in the United States of America, in Venezuela, in Colombia, all across Latin America, they are celebrating.
Oh, we will take to TikTok in a moment to see if they really are, okay? Shout out to Blade up in here. Shout out to all of y'all. Please make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if you are new. This is Black Conservative Perspective. showing how Democrats are not handling this. They're not taking this very well. Liberals, progressives, whoever, whatever. But we obviously expected that, right?
The fact that a tyrant was removed from power. Okay, there's now an opportunity for them to live in their own country, to have prosperity, to have peace, okay, to have opportunity, okay, within their own country. They don't have to leave and evacuate and go to the United States of America anymore or go to all these other countries anymore. They can live in their own country, which I've heard is a very beautiful country, by the way. I've heard that Venezuela.
Yes, I want a passport if I needed to go there. I'm ready to go. Well, maybe not ready to go right now, but I'm ready to go.
Venezuela is kind of like the crown jewel of Latin America in regards to beaches, scenery, terrain, islands, women, resources.
Why does America even need Venezuelan oil? And I can kind of understand your point, because if you look at just total oil production, look, this is up until 2005, the US was there, Venezuela was there, Saudi Arabia was there. But as you probably know, since then, everything has changed. Look, American output has gone through the roof, way above Saudi Arabia. And Venezuela has gone basically to the floor. And that's kind of post-Chavez, Maduro. They're one of the minnows now, I think 21st biggest producer in the world. So again, that question, why should America care? Well, in the US, that big rise is largely down to this. It's down to the shale revolution. So you've got fracking all around the US producing extraordinary amounts of crude oil. Look at total oil reserves around the world. The higher these bars are, the more oil there is in the ground, so that hasn't yet been taken out of the ground. So they've got Saudi, Iran, Iraq, all of the usual suspects. But the biggest of all, and this is according to various different sources, the biggest of all is Venezuela. And what's that oil?
Where is Legend at? Let me text him.
It's the heavy, tarry stuff that you might well want to put into those American refineries. And there is really only one other place in the world that has a kind of serious amount of heavy oil other than Canada and Venezuela. And lo and behold, guess where that is? It's Russia.
They are not going to be very happy. So China buys oil from Venezuela at about a 20 to 30% discount. So they get discounted oil, they get discounted gas. The Russians have been using their so-called shadow fleet of tankers to move oil around the world to help fund their efforts in Ukraine. So neither the country is going to be happy. But at this point, with Maduro gone, there's not much that they can complain about. Hopefully, from here on in, we see free and fair elections in Venezuela and allowing the Venezuelan people to rule their country rather than the strongman Maduro.
It's something that we care about a lot, okay? There's a lot of potential with Venezuela. And if this works, I'm excited to see the results, right? I'm very, very, very excited to see the results, okay? But in the meantime, as Venezuelans are celebrating, right? You have liberals, leftists, the liberal media, Democrats, they're now fuming, they're boo-hoo, whining, and crying about their dear socialist leader being overthrown by President Trump.
We are bombing Venezuela right now. It is 2:35 a.m. and Pete Kegsworth, fucking cosplay G.I. Joe, is literally bombing Venezuela. You guys didn't stop them when they were bombing boats in the ocean. You didn't stop them.
Who can interpret what he's saying? Anybody, Bueller?
When they fucking took a tanker off the coast of Venezuela like a bunch of fucking pirates. You guys didn't say shit. When they bombed Nigeria less than 2 weeks ago. What the fuck are you guys doing? We are the terrorists. We are exporting terror to the rest of the world. What the fuck is it going to take for you people to remove this dementia-ridden patient who needs to be in a fucking padded cell at this point?
Going into another country with enough firepower to take their president and then saying you're going to charge their president with criminal charges in our country is such an insane breach of sovereignty. I'm like so shook.
Yeah, just a quick question. Just so we're all aligned in 2026, we know we're not the good guys, right?
Okay, well, if you're not a bot, which you might be, I don't even care. Do you know what happens when the United States starts bombing and invading a sovereign country?
To be more clear, the United States bombed Venezuela and then abducted their president and his wife.
Okay, hold on, y'all. I'm sorry. So I had to go over back to ChatGPT because I think somebody, after what she said, and I saw somebody in the chat say something about he had a bond on him. So I asked. It says that, yes, Nicolas Maduro did have a bounty on his head issued by the U.S. government as part of efforts to capture or bring him to justice on criminal charges. Here's what happened. In March 2020, the U.S. Department of State offered a reward, a bounty of about $15 million for information leading to Maduro's arrest related to alleged drug trafficking and narco-terrorism charges. That bounty was increased over time, first to around 25 million in 2025, and then later to a record 50 million by August 7, 2025, under the U.S. Narcotics Rewards Program. Now, take this shit with a grain of salt, y'all, okay? Because this is all I got off the moment right now in order to try to look into this. These rewards were aimed at incentivizing information that could lead to his arrest and conviction in U.S. courts. This bounty was part of a long-standing U.S. criminal case and pressure campaign. And in January 2026, U.S. forces captured Maduro and brought him to the U.S. to face trial. So, yes, there was formerly a U.S. government bounty on his head to U.S. charges against him, of which, per the Monroe Doctrine, we are able to do because we control the Western Hemisphere. Child, we be learning. Don't be telling me. Shout out to the chat. Because, child, that's what I need y'all for. All right? For regardless of what the rest say. Now, take all this with a grain of salt, because I know somebody's going to say, that's ChatGPT. Yeah, y'all like it when you like it, and when you don't, you don't. But anyway. But like somebody said earlier, too, you could always do your own research. Don't depend on me for shit. Okay? We going on the fly right now. Build it as we fly. Back to the video, cha.
Be honest. Who's secretly rooting for Venezuela and Iran?
Donald Trump, yo sé que posiblemente tú no vayas a ver este video. Yo lo sé, lo tengo claro. Pero, coño, no nos puede quitar el privilegio de mostrarnos una foto de ese coño de su madre tras las rejas, ¿vale? Por favor, te lo pedimos. Hoy es el mejor día de nuestras vidas para todos esos venezolanos. Dios mío, hoy es un día bendecido que nunca vamos a olvidar.
Yo creo que nadie entiende la emoción. Pero desde mis 7 años me tocó vivir en un país.
What is she saying? Can you confirm that what they're writing in English is true? Who speaks? Is it Spanish, child? Is it Spanish? Don't come for me.
Pero, coño, no nos puede quitar el privilegio de mostrarnos una foto de ese coño de su madre tras las rejas, ¿vale? Por favor, te lo pedimos. Hoy es el mejor día de nuestras vidas para todos esos venezolanos. Dios mío, hoy es un día bendecido que nunca vamos a olvidar.
Yo creo que nadie entiende la emoción. Pero desde mis 7 años me tocó vivir en un país donde me arrebataron mi infancia, me arrebataron todo.
Morning, the U.S. launched a massive criminal bombing campaign on Venezuela. Since when does the Trump administration have the moral, legal, or even political right to put another president on trial?
Donald Trump in the USA! Donald Trump in the USA! Stop bombing Venezuela now! Stop bombing Venezuela now! Biggest...
Yeah, so who's in New York? I'm gonna need y'all to go down there and do some video and send it to me. Who is in the NYC? Maybe I should take the train and go on up there. Maybe I will. We'll see how this goes. I might go up there, yeah.
This is very important, right? It's very important to understand that liberals apparently hate to see people be liberated from socialism, okay? This is what they hate. However, the job is not done, okay? The job is not done. What you're saying is the initial reaction from Venezuelans. That should tell you everything you need to know about how they actually feel about their government and what they want, okay? But the job is not done yet, okay? And we're going to talk about what comes next. The president gave us some clues in regards to what comes next. And the reality is that most people don't actually listen to the president talk, right? They just hear what they want to hear instead of actually listening to what he's saying and what the plan is moving forward. And I want to explain exactly what he's saying, because I think a lot of people are misinterpreting what the president is actually trying to say. And they're freaking out about the president saying something that is likely not going to happen, but he's trying to use leverage in order to get the current government in charge to play ball. If they don't play ball, then we may have to continue to ratchet things up. But I don't think it's going to escalate to the level that people believe is going to escalate to. And I want to talk about it because, again, liberals are freaking out about what President Trump said at this press conference. And I want to go ahead and play some clips. Take a look.
We're going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. So we don't want to be involved with having somebody else get in, and we have the same situation that we had for the last long period of years.
He just don't want the wrong people to go in there. Allegedly, that's the point. That's what he said. He's reading the script right now because y'all know he was rambling yesterday.
So we are going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. And it has to be judicious because that's what we're all about. We want peace, liberty, and justice for the great people of Venezuela. And that includes many from Venezuela that are now living in the United States and want to go back to their country. It's their homeland. As everyone knows, the oil business in Venezuela has been a bust, a total bust for a long period of time. They were pumping almost nothing by comparison to what they could have been pumping and what could have taken place. We're going to have our very large United States oil companies, the biggest anywhere in the world, go in, spend billions of dollars, fix the badly broken infrastructure, the oil infrastructure, and start making money for the country.
Than the following points. Nicolas Maduro was indicted in 2020 in the United States. He is not the legitimate president of Venezuela. That's not just us saying it. The first Trump administration, the Biden administration, the second Trump administration, none of those three recognized him. He's not recognized by the European Union and multiple countries around the world. He is a fugitive of American justice with a $50 million reward, which I guess we saved $50 million. And
We should make sure.
Yeah, exactly. But
Don't let anybody claim it. Nobody deserves it but us.
But I want to be clear about one thing. Nicolas Maduro had multiple opportunities to avoid this. He was provided multiple very, very, very generous offers and chose instead to act like a wild man, chose instead to play around. And the result is what we saw tonight. The other message here is the following. You have a guy, like many people around the world, they like to play games. You have a guy who decides he's going to invite Iran into his country, is going to, do the confiscation of American oil companies, is going to flood our country with gang members, is going to take Americans prisoner and try to hold them for hostage and trade them like he was able to do with the Biden administration. Basically likes to play games all this time and thinks nothing's going to happen. And I hope what people now understand is we have a president. The 47th president of the United States is not a game player. When he tells you that he's going to do something, when tells you he's going to address a problem, he means it. He actions it. I can tell you, I've watched this process now for 14, 15 years, been around it. Everybody talks. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. When I get there, we're going to do this. We're going to take. This is a president of action. Like, I don't understand yet how they haven't figured this out. And now, if you don't know, now you know. Because this is the way it's going to.
And if you don't know, now you know. All right. So I just looked up before January 2026, was Maduro the undisputed president of Venezuela? Because they just now said that he wasn't or something like that, right? It says before January 2026, Nicolas Maduro was legally the president of Venezuela, but his presidency was highly disputed both inside Venezuela and internationally. So here's the context. Maduro was officially president. Maduro served as president from 2013 onward. Is that 12 years? What the fuck? Succeeding Hugo Chavez after his death. He was declared the winner of the 2024 presidential election and sworn in again in January 2025 for a third term, 2025 to 2031. But his presidency was widely disputed. The 2024 election that extended his term was criticized as neither free nor fair by many international observers and governments. Inside Venezuela, the political opposition, civil society, and many citizens rejected the legitimacy of his continued rule due to election irregularities, repression, and democratic backsliding. Past international disputes over legitimacy. In 2019 to 2023, there was a major presidential crisis when opposition leader Juan Guaido was recognized by many countries, including the US and the EU, as interim president because they considered Maduro's 2018 election illegitimate. Okay. By about 2023, most of those recognitions had dropped and Maduro regained broad recognition as de jure president, but concerns continued. So was he undisputed? No. He was the constitutional and official president, but not undisputed. Domestically, strong opposition and questions about democratic legitimacy persisted. Internationally, many governments and institutions did not view his presidency as fully legitimate due to election concerns and human rights issues. So in summary, Maduro held the title and office of president of Venezuela before January 2026, but his rule was deeply contested both inside Venezuela and in the international community, especially regarding elections and democratic legitimacy. So that does not help at all. So I guess some say he was and some say he wasn't, depending on who the hell it is that you're talking to. All right. So it is what it is. But it sounds like Trump just said, ain't nobody getting that 50 million, child. All right. My bad. Of course, StreamYard is StreamYard. My bad, y'all. Hold on. Oh, Lord, help your people. All right. Let me fast forward it to here.
Secretary Hegseth and Rubio are going to be running Venezuela, and will you be sending in U.S. military
There's going
troops
to
to
be a
provide?
team that's working with the people of Venezuela to make sure that we have Venezuela right. Because for us to just leave, have this done right.
He's talking about that lady we looked at, the vice president lady. Somebody somewhere is lying.
Right. We're not going to just do this with Maduro, then leave like everybody else, leave and say, let it go to hell. If we just left, it has zero chance of ever coming back. We'll run it properly. We'll run it professionally. We'll have the greatest oil companies in the world go in and invest billions and billions of dollars and take out money, use that money in Venezuela. And the biggest beneficiary are going to be the people of Venezuela.
Yeah, so you say that you heard that. Now, President Trump is making it clear. No, we're not trying to make Venezuela the 51st state. No, we're not trying to permanently occupy Venezuela. What he's saying is that, listen, there's a transition period. We have a government that is currently still in place that is still loyal to Maduro, at least on paper, right? They're still loyal to him. We got to figure out if we can currently work with the people who are in charge, right? We got to see if we can work with them, because right now we don't have anybody lined up ready to take over at the moment because the operation isn't complete. Okay. He's already said that Machado, who a lot of people thought would take over, that she's not strong enough, right? She's not strong enough to actually take over and to lead the country. Again, there needs to be a transition period.
Aware of the location of opposition leader Machado, and have you been in contact with her?
No, we haven't. No, we haven't.
Mr. President, Mr. President, on Monday.
I think it would be very tough for her to be the leader. She doesn't have the support within or the respect within the country. She's a very nice woman, but she doesn't have the respect.
Yeah. So what President Trump is saying there, in a very nice way, is that Machado is too weak, right? That right now, Venezuela does not need a weak sauce woman who has not proven that.
Oh no, that's sexist. Oh no. So they trying to say that a woman can't do this? That is sexist. This MSG all over the damn place. Misogyny. She can do it. She was elected, right? She can do this. She looked like she ready to go. Let her do it. F it.
She has enough cojones, respect, and authority within that country to transition it in a direction that it needs to go, right? Because you got to understand, this country is still being run by Maduro's people, okay? And Maduro's people, they're going to have to decide very quickly if they want to continue to carry out Maduro's will, or do they want to bend the knee to the United States of America and give up power, okay? There are still military guerrilla factions that exist in the country. And to be honest with you, Venezuela right now, they need a Bukele type leader, right? They need somebody that's going to rule with an iron fist, right? That is going to crack down on the cartels, the gangs, the drugs, the violence, the crime, the loyalists, the people, the military groups that are still pro-Maduro. Again, they need a Bukele type of guy, right? To be honest with you, at this moment, who is essentially friendly with the United States of America, right? And friendly towards what we want to do. And obviously, because they keep mentioning it, President Trump says, hey, we want U.S. oil companies to go in and to be able to extract the oil, right? And to get the economy going again. In the CNN clip where you have the VP, who apparently is in charge of the country now, she is trying to play hardball, right? She's trying to play tough. And we're going to see how long this lasts.
Moving moment by moment out of Venezuela, the de facto leader there has now for the first time appeared on camera, demanding the immediate release of Nicolas Maduro and his wife, calling their capture a kidnapping. Right now, meantime, Maduro, in that image, you see him, it was posted by President Trump.
They got this man in a Nike jumpsuit. They got him in a Nike jumpsuit.
That is not the worst part of it. They got him with a baby hat on and slides and socks, like he just came from a Compton, what is it called? A swap meet.
You can't make this up.
He is on his way to the United States to face drug trafficking charges in the Southern District of New York. Meanwhile, the vice president of Venezuela, Maduro's vice president, her name is Delcy Rodriguez. She just spoke. We've got the audio in now. I want to play for you what she just said to Trump.
What she said?
We demand the immediate release of President Nicolas Maduro and his wife, the only president of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela.
This is coming out against Trump. And that is extremely significant, not just because she saw what happened hours ago to the guy on top of her, but also because President Trump
She doesn't have a choice. And CNN is going to pretend as if this woman actually has any real leverage and that she's going to get her way. That's not how this is going to work, okay? Marco Rubio is president now. Rubio is president now of Venezuela, at least temporarily.
Hold on. I just ChatGPT'd it up, child. So let me first acknowledge Reaper. Thank you, honey. Said this reminds me of the Dave Chappelle President Oil skit. We played that in the beginning. You late? Were you late, sir? Yeah, we played that in the beginning. I can play it again later. All right, so it says that I asked, was the VP of Venezuela appointed by Maduro or was she elected? It says the vice president of Venezuela, Delcy Rodriguez, was appointed, not directly elected by voters. So in essence, it would make sense with what we got right now that she wouldn't be the best person to take over because she's appointed by the person that's the problem. It says how the Venezuelan vice president is chosen. In Venezuela, the vice president of the Bolivarian Republic is not elected in a national election separately by the public. Oh, well, there you go. I guess he's supposed to do it. But if he's the problem and she's directed by him, that still shows what the problem is, right? Instead, the president appoints the VP as part of the executive branch. The Constitution allows the president to name the VP, often called vice president of the republic or executive vice president, and they serve at the president's pleasure. Oh, not all that pleasure, child. Delcy Rodriguez's case. Delcy has been VP since June 2018, having been named to the post by President Nicolas Maduro rather than elected in a separate nationwide vote. She served in that role through Maduro's presidential terms, including the disputed 2024 election, and later assumed interim presidential functions under constitutional procedures when Maduro was detained in January 2026. So who's in charge? Is it Delcy or is it Rubio? So unlike the presidency, which is filled by popular vote, which is in question, Venezuela's vice president is appointed by the president, not elected directly by the people. There you go. Because, child, we be learning. Anyway, back over here, child. I don't know if we're going to make it to childcare today, y'all.
People should learn, right? Learn from, history, that what these people say out loud does not actually really translate to their actions and what they're actually going to do. They just witnessed Nicolas Maduro, their leader, get snatched up in the middle of the night by the strongest military force on the planet, right? In the history of the world. Do you think this woman really wants smoke with us? No, she don't want that type of smoke. Of course not.
I am not liking this misogynistic attitude from men today. Delcy can do it. Delcy was appointed by the man in charge, so clearly he had faith in her. I mean, I'm not saying she's going to do it, but I'm just saying all this MSG, that's all I'm hearing right now. Y'all need to stop. Y'all need to stop this.
But she got to save face, right? She has to come out here and to say what she got to say, but behind closed doors, okay? I'm sure that she's talking a little bit differently, but we're going to see what happens.
That's a mean
the mainstream liberal media, of course, they're going to play this up as if this woman has any leverage whatsoever in this situation. She has none. But that's not what the mainstream liberal media wants you to think, right? They want you to think that this woman can actually stand up to President Trump and Marco Rubio. She can't, right? She can't, okay? At this point, the pro-Maduro loyalists, they're not going to have that much time, but they're going to have to figure out very quickly, do they want to end up like their dear leader, or do they want to give up power, right? Uh-oh. And the United States, my guess is that Trump is going to continue to ratchet up pressure on them to give up power, or else.
Which is probably where the second wave of him going in there is coming from. That's why he's saying that.
Another one of them may be snatched up again, right? Or more of these random boats may be bombed, or more attacks on land. Okay, more bombings may occur if they don't.
No, you need to calm down because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. If you passing through, I'm gonna need you to calm the fuck down and understand that you don't know what the fuck is going on around here. You can leave.
Don't go ahead and give up, right? They don't want this to escalate even.
A statement from Vice President Delcy Rodriguez of Venezuela, which I just played. So now we're awaiting Trump's response to that. What does this actually mean? You are there in Mar-a-Lago with the president. What's the response from him?
Yeah, and I don't think it will be a favorable response from the president. He did sound fairly confident that Rodriguez would be going along with this plan. After that press conference, he gave a phone call to the New York Post, and actually Rodriguez came up in that conversation. He was asked if U.S. troops would be on the ground in Venezuela running that country, and what he said was, quote, "No, if Maduro's vice president, if the vice president does what we want, we won't have to do that." And then he goes on to say, we're prepared. We have a second wave that's much bigger than the first one. And so I do think, now that Rodriguez is coming out and suggesting that she is not, in fact, on board with what the United States is doing down there, the president does seem to be setting up the prospect that the U.S. could go in with a second round of strikes. He
already said that, John.
He alluded to that in his press conference. He said that perhaps he didn't think it would be necessary, but saying pretty explicitly that he was ready to order that if the remnants of the Venezuelan regime didn't necessarily, accede to the U.S. Running the countries, which is what he said they would be doing. I think all of this just underscores how little we know about what exactly the U.S. role is going to be in Venezuela going forward. You know, after the president came out and really kind of shocked all of us by saying that we, the United States, in his words, would be running Venezuela, and then offered essentially no details about what that meant. This back and forth now between the president and the vice president of Venezuela only, I think, emphasizes how little we understand of how this will all proceed going forward. And now, of course, you hear the president suggesting that there could be a U.S. military role to ensure that the U.S. is able to run Venezuela. You know, he said in that press conference he wasn't afraid of boots on the ground. When I followed up with him and asked, you know, does he envision a prolonged U.S. military presence in that country, he didn't really answer, and he sort of pivoted to talking about the oil, which we know has been sort of a preoccupation of his in Venezuela. And so, you know, this is all setting up quite a dramatic, I think, day or week ahead as the U.S. works to ascertain who exactly is claiming power in Venezuela and works to assert their own power that the president now suggests that the U.S. has in Caracas, but without necessarily explaining what exactly that looks like and what exactly that could mean for the U.S. military going forward.
Yeah, well, again, it's really not for you to know, to be honest with you, right? When you talk about an ongoing operation like this, of course, they're not going to give you all the details, but it is clear to me, it seems very clear that the long-term goal is not to have U.S. troops on the ground in Venezuela running the country, right? I don't even think that's the short-term goal. The goal really is to get the current government to play ball when it comes to a transition plan, right? And getting somebody in there that the Venezuelan people want and somebody that we want. So, yeah, I mean, that, to me, is my takeaway from all this. And obviously, you're not.
All right, and we appreciate that. Shout out to Black Conservative Perspective for all of that reporting. We learned a lot there. All right, let me move on to CBS Miami. They said Miami's Cuban community stands in solidarity with South Florida Venezuelans amid Maduro's capture. Oh, no. I don't know. Are they happy? Are they not happy? Then we got to go to TikTok. Yeah.
Cuban community is standing in solidarity with the Venezuelan people here in South Florida. President Trump has hinted this should be cause for concern for Cuba.
CBS News Miami's Maribel Rodriguez is your reporter live in Little Havana as the crowd grows. Maribel, you talked with many people about this historic moment.
I sure did. And as you all know, and as we know here in South Florida, whenever something big happens here, where do people go? Of course, here Versailles. And take a look at the crowd today. They are not disappointing. This is how it's been all day long since the news broke of Maduro's capture. The crowd has just gotten bigger and bigger. Take a look. You have flags from Cuba. You have flags from Venezuela. You have flags from all of Latin America. And also, not only do you have all these flags, but you have families who are here. There are families, generations. Not only were they born in Venezuela, but many were born here and are hoping to go back and meet their home country. At Versailles restaurant in Little Havana, Venezuelan and Cuban flags together in solidarity and hope of freedom.
A lot of us want to go back, visit our country, and I want my son to visit the place that I was born, the way that I left it, in freedom. Because that's what we need. And this is what Trump is giving us, freedom, once again.
This reaction from the Venezuelan and Cuban American community after President Donald Trump announced the capture of Venezuela's President Nicolás Maduro and his wife, Celia Flores.
It means a lot to the Venezuelan people, to the Cuban people, to the Nicaraguan people, I think to Latin America, that a murderer and a drug trafficker is already not able to continue to repress its own people and to send drugs into the United States.
Early Saturday morning, many waking up to the news that's hit home to the thousands of Venezuelans living here in South Florida that for years they've been waiting to hear.
We hope that this continues, not only in Venezuela, Cuba, Colombia. We want to see Colombia free also. That's another narco terrorist. And we hope that, Trump continues to do that. And we love what he's doing to the country.
Hours after the news, Cuban American activists gathered at the Assembly for a Cuban resistance, sharing their thoughts of what this means not only for Venezuela, but also for Cuba.
It is a two-headed monster. So that regime, which oppresses Venezuela and which oppresses Cuba and which sucks the life out of Cuba and Venezuela, has been dealt a very heavy blow. So this will also benefit the Cuban people in their fight for freedom. It's our fight. It's our struggle.
And about that generation that I mentioned earlier, I'm joined by Sandra and Francesca, mother and daughter. You are Colombian, but you're here. Why?
I'm here because we're here to support our neighbors. I'm Colombian and Venezuela. We have lived in the diaspora of the Venezuelan people.
Maybe I should go to Florida and go to Miami. Maybe I should go there. Which one? Should I go to Florida or should I go to New York? I think I need to go to one of them and see what's going on.
Flooding Colombia, we see how they suffer. And also we live in Miami and we see the effects that the Cuban diaspora has been lived here. So we have seen the problem that he has
Thank you,
generated.
Sandra. So this is a hope for all of Latin America, not only for Venezuela, right?
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Of course, we're going to be here all night long and bring you more from here, from Little Havana. For now, we're live at Versailles. Maribel Rodriguez, CBS News, Miami. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, there you go. All right, over to CBS Chicago. What? Everybody got something to say. I guess Venezuelans are more in one place than just Florida. Local Venezuelan restaurateurs react to Maduro's capture. Wait. Hold on. I didn't change over. My bad. There's a lot going on today.
This is what friends of brothers Gerardo and Alberto Villalobos woke up to in Caracas, Venezuela early Saturday morning. Military helicopters flying overhead and striking important Venezuelan military bases and seaports.
Yeah, very scary.
They say the attack was terrifying for their family and friends back home.
Everything's bad. The drugs, violence.
Their restaurant, Macatia, on 57th and Western, is full of Venezuelan pride and food they want to share with Chicagoans.
We come here because this country is freedom.
Alberto and Gerardo moved here to Chicago
All right, pause, y'all. Pause. Cam has spoken. Cam has spoken. Kamala Harris blasts Trump's administration's capture of Nicolas Maduro as unlawful and unwise. Oh no, who voted for Cam? No, don't say who you voted for. Please don't. If Cam was in office, this would be different. Yeah. Okay. Cam has something to say. Let's see. Former VP Cam on Saturday evening condemned the Trump administration's capture of Venezuelan dictator Maduro and his wife, calling the operation both unlawful and unwise. In a lengthy post on X, because that's where all people go now instead of freaking going to their offices and doing some work, Harris acknowledged that Maduro is a brutal and illegitimate dictator, but let me read that again. In a lengthy post on X, Harris acknowledged that Maduro is a brutal and illegitimate dictator, but said that President Donald Trump's action in Venezuela do not make America safe, stronger, or more affordable. Child, y'all already know it doesn't matter.
Because Trump bad. Trump bad.
Again!
Because Trump bad. Trump bad.
Going, you're being a racist! Racist!
Donald Trump's actions in Venezuela do not make America safer, stronger, or more affordable, Harris wrote. That Maduro is a brutal, illegitimate dictator does not change the fact that this action was both unlawful and unwise. We've seen this movie before. Wars for regime change or oil that are sold as strength but turn into chaos, and American families pay the price. Harris made the remarks hours after the Trump administration confirmed that Maduro and his wife were captured and transported out of Venezuela as part of Operation Absolute Resolve. Oh, there's a name for it? Okay. There they go with him and his baby hat and his slides, child. The former VP also accused the administration of being motivated by oil interests rather than efforts to combat drug trafficking or promote democracy. The American people do not want this, and they are tired of being lied to. This is not about drugs or democracy. It is about oil and Donald Trump's desire to play the regional strongman, Harris said. If he cared about either, he wouldn't pardon a convicted drug trafficker or sideline Venezuela's legitimate opposition while pursuing deals with Maduro's cronies. That is true, child. Y'all know he let that other drug kingpin out. How you gonna pardon one and then condemn another? That don't make sense to me either, okay? I'm just saying. Harris, who has been rumored as potential Democratic contender in 2028 presidential race, y'all already know. You can go ahead and get ready to vote for Cam. She ain't done. She'll be back. Additionally, accused the president of endangering U.S. troops and destabilizing the region. The president is putting troops at risk, spending billions, destabilizing the region, and offering no legal authority, no exit plan, and no benefit at home. They're not over there, though. They're not over there. right? He's putting troops at risk, spending billions, destabilizing the region. But you said he was brutal too, and offering no legal authority. Yeah, that's up in the air. No exit plan. I don't think they're there, and no benefit at home. I guess we'll see. Maybe we can do. There is a benefit. We're gonna be able to go to Venezuela in vacation. I can't wait. I'm waiting. Does Frontier go there? That's all I care about. The president. Okay. Blah 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 blah. Most importantly, put in American people for. America needs leadership whose priorities are lowering costs for working families, enforcing the rule of law, strengthening alliances, and most importantly, putting the American people first. Maduro and his wife arrived at Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, of which we're not sure because we haven't seen the missus yet. Late Saturday, after being transported by helicopter from the DEA in Manhattan after being processed. Early in the day, Trump said the U.S. government will run Venezuela until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. Harris's office did not immediately respond to Fox's News Digital request for comment. Now, Cam, how come you ain't answer these people? They trying to find out what exactly it is you mean, child. And where is she at? Somewhere with, what is his name? Dougie. Oh, Cam. But this is going to be, she's going to be running for president in case y'all needed to know. Okay. So either her or, what is his name? Newsom probably will be your nominee, one of them. And then y'all got a choice on what you want to do. JD, or Cam, or Newsom. These will be your choices. Anyway, let me go ahead and get back to this one, child, while I see what else is going on.
Years ago and opened up the restaurant here just a few months ago. They say they moved from Venezuela to get away from Maduro and his regime, but now that he's in custody with the Trump administration, they say it calls for celebration. This is what broke out in Venezuelan streets when friends of the Villaloboses got word Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and his wife were captured and flown out of the country.
I wouldn't hesitate to say that at least 90%, if not more, of the Venezuelans are very happy.
Luciano Pedota with the Illinois Venezuelan Alliance agrees with their sentiment and says many Venezuelans in America might go home.
I have friends who 2 weeks ago, they just packed all their bags and they went back to Venezuela.
Pedota says he is not surprised by the attack or arrest of Maduro. He says it's been a long time coming.
Narco trafficking is a problem, and it's just really disrupting life, the livelihood of many people.
For 20 years, we're waiting for this moment.
Gerardo and Alberto Villalobos say they are looking forward to the future.
We're really excited. I think our people, so we were excited for this job.
But plan to stay in Chicago for now, in a community they say has become their new home. In Gage Park, Marissa Sulik, CBS News, Chicago.
Are they going to go back or no? I'm not really sure after that. California. Some SoCal Venezuelans feel optimistic after Maduro's capture. Others express concerns. Oh, no.
Local Venezuelans are sharing a different opinion on Maduro's capture. We spoke with multiple LA residents who lived in Venezuela on why they prefer uncertainty over the country's future compared to Maduro's rule.
It is uncertain, but it is, even whatever happens, it's going to be better than what it was. That's what everybody's thinking. Like, nothing can be worse than what they were going through before this happened. So now we have Maria Corina Machado. Everybody has their trust in her, and she's doing great. Like, she just got the Nobel Peace Prize, and she just keeps going, and she is actually doing what she promised. She said, I'm going to help Venezuela become free, and we'll see it. Like, it's not just words, we see actions.
I think it was the only option that we really had, since Venezuelan people were not allowed to own guns and protect themselves, and we couldn't really fight against them, against the regime in Venezuela. So the only option was intervention from the U.S. So we really support what Donald Trump has done.
Why we are so happy? Because we've been in jail for so many years. We've been in this country, my country, in Venezuela. Can you imagine? There's no food. He controls everything. We be controlled by these people, not only him, Diosdado Cabello, and everybody is around him. We cry because now.
Oh, they was controlled. They couldn't even figure out what they wanted to eat. Oh, no, that don't sound good. That don't sound good.
Somebody do something. This president is the first president. They do something. We don't know what is going to happen. But at least this is the first step is hope for every Venezuelan. This is a hope.
Well, those are just the words and opinions of a few local Venezuelans living here in Los Angeles. They expressed optimism about what happened in their native country and what it means for the country's future. But we also spoke to Professor Miguel Tinker Salas from Pomona College. He is also a Venezuelan historian. Here's what he had to say about what occurred.
I think there's a big distinction between those who are supporting Maduro and those who are against U.S. intervention. There's a strong tendency in Venezuela, a strong trend, a strong position in Venezuela to be critical of Maduro, to want his ouster, but to be against the U.S. intervention. This creates a wound in Venezuelan society that will not heal overnight. This was an armed invasion of a country. Let's not mince words about it. The president can call it whatever he wants. This was an armed invasion of a foreign country by U.S. military forces. They can kidnap a president, but they don't control a country. And the real issue here is what will be the future of Venezuela and what is best for Venezuelans. Once the party's over, what happens to the country? What happens to the people? What happens to its resources? Who controls them? Mm-hmm. Venezuela has the largest deposit of oil in the world. I was saying for a long time, this was not about oil. Turns out I was wrong. Trump proved me wrong. It is about oil. It is about power. It is about U.S. hegemony. It is about keeping Russia and China out. And that's what this is about.
A lot of geopolitical uncertainty this afternoon and concerns about what happens in the so-called day after.
Right. Who's going to control the oil? And President Trump mentioned he wants it to be the U.S. and U.S. billionaires who are going to come in there and take over, rebuild the infrastructure and do, he has mentioned in the past the U.S. being kicked out, ExxonMobil getting kicked out of Venezuela as they privatized. As they opened up private business, the government took over the oil industry decades ago, and President Trump obviously upset. You heard him say, you can kidnap a president. So that's how that historian is terming this. The president, the United States, has kidnapped the president of Venezuela. Now, there is some question about Maria Corina Machado. She, by all accounts, won the election in Venezuela. Maduro negated the results. She has fled the country. She is not in Venezuela as of now. By most accounts, you heard those native Venezuelans. They want to see Machado come back and take over and run their...
Well, if Maduro ran away, the person that actually won, doesn't that mean that he's the bad guy? So she had to leave the damn country or something would have happened to her. Then he appointed Delcy. So what are we talking about right now? Even Cam said he was brutal, but she was like, no, you can't do this. Okay. The man had the bounty on his head. All right. Go ahead, Chad.
Their country. President Trump today said, quote, I think it'd be very tough for her to be the leader. She doesn't have the support or the respect within the country. She's a very nice woman, but she doesn't have the respect.
We should also note that she won the Nobel Peace Prize for her efforts for her opposition efforts in Venezuela.
Right. So again, we'll see how this plays out as that.
Yeah. Shout out to California. But it looks like Delcy, maybe she has something else to say. This says Venezuela VP Delcy Rodriguez addresses national following capture of Nicolas Maduro. It might be the same thing, but let's see if Delcy has something else to say.
A Venezuelan court has now directed Venezuelan Vice President Delcy Rodriguez to assume the powers and duties of acting president. This comes after longtime leader Nicolas Maduro and his wife were captured by U.S. military forces after early Saturday morning strikes in Caracas. They are now in the United States to face criminal charges.
We have local 10's Trent Kelly in the newsroom with the details on what could happen next. Trent.
Well, Alexis, Rodriguez called Maduro's detention a quote, kidnapping and demanded his release, adding that Maduro is, quote, the sole president of Venezuela. And that appears to contradict
that better be what she says. What else she gonna say?
A statement made by President Donald Trump, who said Rodriguez was willing to work with the U.S.
New images showing Nicolas Maduro blindfolded and handcuffed moments after he and his wife were captured by the U.S. government.
Where's she at?
The photo shared on social media by President Donald Trump on Saturday, just hours after Maduro's capture. Venezuelan Vice President Delcy Rodriguez struck a defiant tone. While surrounded by regime loyalists, she called the U.S. operation barbaric, declaring Nicolas Maduro is the only president of Venezuela. Known to many in the country simply as Delcy, Rodriguez has been an influential and reliable regime enforcer for nearly 2 decades. She began in the government of Hugo Chavez, faithfully implementing the tenets of Chavismo, the nationalist populist movement that brought the Venezuelan economy to its knees. Uncompromising in her rhetoric, she vilified the Venezuelan opposition and frequently warned the country about the threat of foreign intervention. Crucially, as energy minister, she has also been a steady hand in funneling Venezuela's dwindling energy revenues to the regime. Seen here last month with state workers, she says, We have something to tell Mr. Trump. Venezuela doesn't owe the U.S. anything. And yet Rodriguez has for many years been sanctioned by Canada, the EU, and the United States. CNN attempted to question her in 2016 after an investigation uncovered a scheme to illegally sell Venezuelan passports out of the country's embassy in Iraq. Rodriguez, then the foreign minister, refused to comment on every occasion. In keeping with her political pedigree, Rodriguez has a less than subtle message for the Trump administration as she demanded Maduro's release. Her involvement in any future transition in Venezuela will be challenging.
So clearly, there are still many questions this morning in regards to how the U.S. and Venezuela will move forward with cooperating with each other as they now navigate through this new political space.
I don't think they're going to be working together, allegedly, but that's just my thought. What the hell do I know? Allegedly, there is a sighting of Mrs. Maduro. Allegedly, I don't know. Nicolas Maduro flashes the peace sign as deposed dictator's grim-faced wife seen for the first time since arrest. Now, this is as of today at 8:42 a.m. EST. Is it this video here? No. Or maybe it is. Let's see. Is that her in a green jacket? Oh, it might be her. Hold on. Let's go back. Is that her in the green? Because it kind of seems random that there's just somebody there and nobody is holding her. You know what I mean? Oh, they're holding her there, though. In the gray sweatpants. That must be her. And then that's him. Oh, we've seen the misses. All right. The woman is safe. Okay, there you go. Pretty sure that's her, y'all. All right, so she's safe. She's safe. I'm just saying. All right. It says Nicolas Maduro's wife looked grim and withdrawn in the first photos of her since her arrest alongside her husband by American Special Forces. Venezuelan strongman Maduro flashed a thumbs up and a peace sign as he and Celia Flores were escorted in handcuffs and under heavy guard out of the Stewart Air National Guard base north of New York City. It was the first. Oh, yeah, there she is. Right. Yeah, that was her. OK, it was the first time Flores, who married Maduro in 2013, has been seen after her arrest alongside her husband by U.S. Delta Force operations on Friday night.
This is amazing.
So they arrived at MDC. Isn't that where Diddy is? Ain't that the place he's at? So there she is in the green jacket. Look like she might be half smiling. Him and his baby hat on. There's him with the peace sign. I guess that's them together in another picture. Photos show Flores bundled in a green and yellow hooded sweatshirt, her hands clasped tightly in the front of her chest as armed agents surrounded her on the tarmac. She offered no gestures, no expression as she was moved through a secure area following her arrival. Both Venezuelan leaders were taken to the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, where they are set to face narco-terrorism charges. Okay, there's another view of her. All right, we found the wife. Okay? She's safe. The images capture a striking fall for a woman long viewed as one of the most influential and controversial figures inside Venezuela's authoritarian system. Prior to her marriage to Maduro, she was president of the National Assembly, one of the key power brokers in the nation of 31 million people. Flores first met Maduro in the early 1990s while both were married. Oh, no. They crossed paths while working in the orbit of Hugo Chavez after his failed coup landed him in prison. They soon became both romantically and politically involved. Over the years, their bond deepened as they rose through Venezuela's socialist movement, eventually divorcing their respective spouses and becoming partners. Well, shout out to true love. There is love. Your true love may be married to someone else. You never know, okay? Just keep working. They lived together for nearly 2 decades without marrying, a decision allies framed as ideological and critics saw as calculated. Maduro finally made the relationship official in July 2013, just months after assuming the presidency, announcing that the couple had quietly married in a small family ceremony, legalizing what already existed. I wonder if they got kids, or if either of them have kids. The marriage cemented Flores' role, not just as Maduro's wife, but as his closest confidant and political enforcer. Somebody earlier said that she gonna tell. Is it the same rules if you can't spill on your significant other? Maybe not. Often dubbed the regime's first combatant, she wielded influence far beyond any ceremonial first lady role, advising Maduro on legal and political matters as Venezuela slid deeper into crisis. Child, he over here marrying the woman, he divorced his wife, he married her, he taking care of her. What? Child, men are okay. Look at it. He got her arrested. Like, listen. I mean, I'm not saying she wasn't a willing participant, but I'm just saying she stood by her man. Look at her standing by her man, helping him become great. Inside Venezuela, Flores was widely viewed by critics and analysts as the real power behind the throne. Ooh, a far more astute and feared operator than her husband, who often served as the public face of the regime. She was in charge, allegedly. It sounds like that she was doing everything and put his face out on Front Street because they wouldn't take a woman seriously, maybe, even though it looks like she was something to contend with. Wow, we be learning. Former officials and analysts described her as a secretive, ruthless political tactician and Maduro's chief advisor on legal and political matters. She wielded direct institutional power as both president of the National Assembly and later attorney general, positions that gave her influence over legislation, prosecutions, and judicial appointments. During her rise, Flores was accused of packing government offices with relatives and oh no, and she gave the family jobs. Nepotism, some would call that. She's helping out the family. Oh, shout out to Mrs. Maduro. Flores, my bad. Flores is her name. During her rise, Flores was accused of packing relatives and loyalists, allegations that fuel claims she used the machinery of the state to entrench the regime and protect its inner circle. Child, y'all said y'all can't get out here and find no damn woman. Look at this. You could find a woman like Flores. She stood by her man. She waited her time. She got what she needed. Now she's arrested. Shout out to her. She's the one that was in charge. All right, let's go to TikTok now, child. All right. Are they excited? Are Venezuelans excited or are they not excited? We shall see. You know, TikTok tells the tale, child. Venezuelans condemn U.S. attack. The U.S. is not interested in freedom or democracy. Oh, no. Oh, Lord. Sorry, y'all. Yeah. There's always something. This freaking StreamYard. My bad. Let me show you what Kofa sent to me first. Shout out to Kofa. Thank you. He said, check your text. Let's see what this says before I send you. Go back there. This is from Instagram.
Stole that shit. That's what I do, nigga. Fuck, nigga, I stole that shit. Stole that shit. That's what I do, nigga. Fuck, nigga, I stole that shit. Stole that shit. That's what I do, nigga. Fuck, nigga, I stole that shit.
Seriously, I can't. I cannot. Anyway, y'all, let me. I cannot. Let me go back over here to the TikTok. I apologize. I didn't see. You know, StreamYard be StreamYarding. I'm gonna go to the next one though. The next TikTok.
The U.S. just invaded Venezuela and abducted the president, Nicolas Maduro, and they're bringing him back to the U.S. to face trial on narco-terrorism charges.
Well, the legal news for 2026 is off to quite a start.
So both the left and the right generally agree that Maduro is an illegitimate dictator who oversees a repressive regime. But was it legal for the U.S. to just do this?
No, but also, yes. First, under international law, what the U.S. did was illegal for a variety of reasons. But the problem is that no one really cares. Because international law is only as real as it is enforced. And for it to be enforceable, a country would have to hand over its own leaders to international court, which just doesn't happen.
Putin frequently breaks international law, as does Israel's Netanyahu, and numerous U.S. presidents have done it too. And nothing ever happens.
As for U.S. law, only Congress has the authority to declare war. Congress did not authorize the strike against Venezuela.
But there's something called Article 2 powers in the Constitution, which state that the U.S. president is the commander-in-chief of the military. These powers have been used by every president in recent history to justify short-lived.
Yeah, we looked at that yesterday. So, but they got something to say. Y'all hear this because I know a lot of people ain't trying to hear it. Moving on because they get on my nerves. Actually, yeah. I found something else, but let me let some of this play.
Libre y soberano. Que viva Venezuela libre, camarada. Que viva Venezuela de los patriotas. La Venezuela revolucionaria. La Venezuela del Chávez y la Venezuela de nuestro hermano presidente.
Child, who can interpret? Is she happy or no? I can't tell.
Nicolás Maduro Moro, camarada, y ya que las instituciones internacionales dejen de ser alcahuetes y se hagan un pronunciamiento real, porque están masacrando a un pueblo que lo que ha querido es justicia, un pueblo que ha luchado por una vivienda digna, un pueblo que ha ayudado por la alimentación, cuando nos quitaron todo lo de nuestros hijos. Hoy en día le decimos a esas instituciones internacionales que se pronuncian, porque ese gobierno norteamericano no es la policía del mundo y los venezolanos.
She's not happy.
No lo vamos a demostrar. Esto no es con un presidente, es con un pueblo digno, camarada, que aquí está presente. ¡Que viva la patria de Bolívar! Libre y soberano.
They say everyone is not happy about this, okay?
Los patriotas.
Gracias. Gracias, Dios mío, lo logramos. Ay, qué lindo, por fin.
The Venezuelans who are happy Maduro got captured and the army went into Venezuela, they all live in America, guys. We do this every time. Iranians, Cubans, etc., all celebrate when their home countries are getting bombed, destroyed. Name me the last time America invaded a country, bombed them, whatever, and then that country ended up doing better. Did Libya end up doing better? Did Iraq end up doing better? Did Afghanistan end up doing better? Right, that doesn't happen. The Venezuelans in Venezuela do not want that shit. Maduro armed his entire population, then walked amongst all of them, armed with zero security, and nothing happened to them. Could Trump even do that? Could any Western leader do that? Could Netanyahu do that? No. Right? Stop listening to people who have no stake in their home country's affairs. These Venezuelans don't care because they don't live there. And ask yourself, why is a government that was for the people, why did certain people leave that country? Same reason Cuban Americans left Cuba, right? Because the niggas that were getting kicked out of Cuba were the ones who owned its slave plantations, exploiting the population. Shitty people, the same people who fled China once Mao took power. These people were exploiters who are fucking over the civilian population. Ask these people why their family doesn't live in their home country.
El pueblo finalmente está libre. El pueblo llora por su libertad. Gracias a los Estados Unidos por liberarnos.
Oh, this looks like a positive video. My Spanish ain't that great, but it looks like positive.
Y viva la
oh, hit the like button, please.
Libertad. Oye, el dictador cayó. Finalmente. Estamos libres, estamos libres. Viva Venezuela libre. Gracias, Dios. Gracias. Oye, el dictador cayó finalmente. Granadito, hermano, esto es real. Estamos libres. Mira, mira cómo está la gente. ¡Viva Venezuela libre! Gracias a Dios, esto es para todos los que aguantaron, se logró.
Who can interpret? Right, I know Gracias.
So I'm making this video because it seems like a lot of people don't know and don't understand what's going on in Venezuela right now. So for those of you that know, Trump just confirmed that Maduro has been captured and he just basically bombed Venezuela at 2 a.m. So what's going on is, yes, this is a bittersweet situation for everyone in Venezuela and here in America that are Venezuelans. I'm sorry, y'all, hold on, I can't even talk right now. So yes, although we are very excited that he has been captured, you do not understand that many families and innocent people are really being affected by this. Imagine just being at home, sleeping at 2 a.m. and being bombarded and attacked without a freaking idea that it's going to happen or what's going on. So yes, I'm seeing a lot of people going back and forth saying to be quiet because Venezuelans want this, that, and then going towards like Trump and attacking him. Speaking on all Venezuelans, this is one of the best things, I think the only thing that Trump has done to really make sense of anything right now, okay? Yes, he is capturing Maduro and has captured him to free us. He might have some benefit in it somehow because it's Trump, but at the end of the day, this just gave Venezuela a chance to possibly be free again. I don't think people understand how serious this is. This is something that millions of Venezuelans everywhere have been waiting for.
It says,
this is amazing.
In case you can't see it, Venezuela has been under dictatorship for over 20 years. This is a very crucial moment in history, and I never thought I'd be alive to possibly witness our freedom. So she's Venezuelan, and I don't know if she's in the U.S. or not. I can't really tell. Night J, thank you, boo. She said, reminds me of watching the Berlin Wall falling. I vaguely remember that. Thank you so much, boo. I appreciate you. Shout out to Legend, made it up in here. I see, boo. He said, in history, the only country done by America that ended up better than before was Japan. I said what I said. And that's all he got to say about that. All right. Let me move forward from her, though.
Mira, pero ven acá, no se metan para acá, no sabemos que hay ahí que se queda aquí. Sí.
This says, confirmed reports now show millions of Venezuelans pouring into the streets in celebration after word spread that President Nicolas Maduro had been captured and removed from power. City centers, plazas, and major thoroughfares filled with cheering crowds, waving flags, chanting and honking car horns as people expressed relief and hope after years of economic hardship and political tensions. This is in the United States, y'all. Because what they're saying in the comments is that this is someplace in the United States. So this is not Venezuela. And it does look like they all wearing their breast cancer month shirts.
Did you know that Maduro, like the president, had a bounty of...
Child, so we got to be Venezuelan in order to understand what's going on? What the hell?
$50 million for his capture. Did you know that?
Yeah, we knew.
You're not Venezuelan? I don't want to hear it. No Venezuelan passport, no opinion. This government, these people have been in power for 26 years. You know how old I am? 26. I don't know anything different. Oh, but then why do you keep voting for him? I don't think you understand the level. And since you don't understand the level, then you don't understand why everyone in Venezuela is so happy about this. This is the happiest day of my life. You know how many times we have been so close to getting these people out of the power, out of the government, and all we get is a big fuck you? All of the times that we have thought that these people were gonna finally leave and then they never do. Venezuelans have been messaging the US for years, sending messages, asking, please, begging the US for an invasion. Do we like invasions? No, but you know what the government does? You know what we have had to deal with all of these years? The government kills the civilians. The government attacks the civilians with fire weapons, even though the civilians have no weapons. So do you really think that these people were going to leave if we asked them pretty please? We have asked them by protesting, and what do we get? Bombed, we get shot. The government hires mercenaries so they can go and dissipate the crowds on the protest. So what did we do? We don't protest anymore. Hundreds of thousands of people have died along the years just for having a different opinion, for having an opinion against the government. We just came to a point where we thought nothing's going to change. We had no hope. We just gave up. And then last year we had elections and we won, the opposition won. We had the proof. And then the government said, no, we won. We said, where's the proof? And they said, this president that they kidnapped, he was not a legitimate president because he did not win the last election. He was just not leaving. The amount of people that have left the country, the amount of families that have been separated, the amount of people that can't go back because of the situation. I haven't been able to go back since I left 10 years ago. And now knowing that there's a possibility that I can go back, that this government has fallen, I thought I honestly didn't think I would be alive to see this. How messed up it is. That's how deep this goes. And this is just all very surface level, but it drives me nuts to see people online saying how awful this is, when if you look at the videos, you're not going to see people recording the bombings being like, oh my God, this is awful. Everyone is cheering. Everyone is celebrating. We cannot believe that this is happening. This isn't some random attack and then they kidnap this guy and his wife and poor people. No, these are very messed up people. What's going to happen? I don't know. Are people going to die? I don't know. But people have been dying because of the government, because of our government that attacks its own people. Of course, politicians are corrupt. Of course, there's mismanagement in every single country, but these people are evil. They don't care. They only take all the money for themselves and left the country in ruins. So before saying anything, please inform yourselves. Did you know that?
So we are going to run.
Okay. As a Venezuelan American, I got some shit to say. My family, my parents, my sister, my extended family, all lost everything. Their work, their savings, their investments, gone. Wiped out by a narco dictatorship that has held Venezuela in a death grip for over 25 years. And what happened to my family has happened to millions, and yes, millions. The Venezuelan exodus is the second largest displacement crisis on earth after Syria. This is not just a tragedy. It is one of the great humanitarian disasters of our time. But the suffering doesn't end there. This regime has jailed hundreds of political prisoners. Thousands have been murdered simply for speaking out. More than a third of the population has fled. 1/3. Not for better opportunities or for the American dream, but to survive, to live, because staying often means death. And while the world may see Venezuela as a collapsed state, what it is in reality is an occupied one. Our territory, our natural resources, and our institutions have been overrun by hostile foreign powers. Iranian militias, Chinese corporations, Russian intelligence, all exploiting our country with impunity. Venezuela is no longer just a local crisis. It is now a geopolitical threat that endangers the entire Western Hemisphere. It has become a launch pad for an authoritarian expansion in the Americas. And in the midst of all of this, one woman has dared to lead the charge for freedom. Maria Corina Machado. In 2024, against every odd, she led a peaceful democratic uprising that won the election. Her team smuggled physical voting receipts out of the country, hard proof of victory that the regime tried to bury. Her courage has lit a fire in the hearts of millions of Venezuelans desperate to believe that change is still possible. But now some have questioned her decision to dedicate her Nobel Prize to Donald Trump. Okay, I get that. But here's the truth. It was a brilliant strategic move in the global chessboard of politics. Maria Corina is no fool. She knows exactly the kind of man Trump is. She knows how much he campaigned for it, loudly and relentlessly, to win that very same prize. She knows how symbolic and personal that recognition is to him. And precisely because of that, she understood that this gesture might be the thing that keeps his attention focused on Venezuela at a time when U.S. presence and pressure in the Caribbean is rising. She didn't dedicate that award to flatter him. She did it to protect and preserve the one kind of power that could help shift the course of history. Because for her, this isn't about pride. It's not about optics. It's about freedom. And let's be very clear. Maria Corina is not asking for the U.S. to invade Venezuela. She's not campaigning for war. Venezuela is already invaded. It is held hostage by a narco state, overrun by foreign agents and enemies of democracy, Russians, Iranians, Chinese, all operating freely, weaponizing our land and resources to expand their influence across Latin America. What Maria Corina is calling for, what millions of Venezuelans are praying for, is the support of the only military on earth capable of countering that threat and helping to free our people. This is not imperialism. This is liberation. She's not playing partisan games. She's playing for Venezuela's life. Because this isn't theoretical. This isn't academic. This is life or death. So yes, it is time to honor her bravery, but more importantly, it is time for the world, especially the free world, to recognize what's at stake. The fight for Venezuela is a fight for freedom, for democracy, and for the stability of an entire continent. If we truly care about liberty, human dignity, and peace in the Americas, then Venezuela's fight must matter to all of us. Que viva Venezuela, que viva María Corina Machado.
Okay. Shout out to him. Oh, not a paid actor. Come on, legend. It says that some of these comments said people stop listening to mainstream media and start listening to the people who live in these places and have firsthand knowledge. This one says a business transaction. Trump gets oil. Machado gets the presidency. And Venezuela gets their freedom. Machado is that lady that got elected, but they said that she wasn't the elected person. This was the most beautiful, passionate, and educational speech I've seen in a while. Thank you. Congratulations to Venezuela. I am praying for your country. The U.S. has cut the head off of the snake. Now Venezuelan people need to rise up and claim your country. Lord, help your people. Let me tell you something, though. For all the people that be complaining here in the United States, I promise you, y'all wouldn't last 2 seconds over there in Venezuela. Just from what I have learned, let me just say me, because y'all know more than me in the last couple of days since this mess has happened. Y'all over here complaining while you can complain, while you can talk sugar honey iced tea, while you can go out in the street and protest, while you can go wherever you want, whenever you want to, while you talk about the same government that you then want them to go and take care of y'all's asses, and then got the nerve and audacity to talk about how you are so bad and that these people aren't. Sound like there are really people who are going through some shit. Now, we already know that the question of the legitimacy is up in the air, but it sounds like these people, for the most part, because people be thinking that everybody got to agree 100%. That's just not how the shit works. But it seems like the majority of the people that are Venezuelan or from Venezuela are happy about this mess. That man had a $50 million bounty on his head. So what are we talking about right now? For the United States, it's because it's Donald Trump. That's the problem, right? That's the biggest problem. It's because it's him. But second of all, why are you not listening to what these people are saying and then recognize the fact on how much freedom you actually have here, where they could not do half of the shit that Americans do over there. Not half of the shit that Americans do here could they do over there. But everybody always know what's best for anybody else. Child, I don't know what in the hell, is going on over in Venezuela. If I can vacation there, I'll go over there. But living the way that some of these people said, you can have that shit. For all the people that be complaining and whining and talking about what you can't get here, y'all can shut the fuck up, okay? Because you wouldn't know anything positive if it bit you in your ass. All you want to do is complain. All you want to do is follow what somebody else has said because you think that that's what it should be. For example, them three girls over there, Rolly, Clown, Ricky Smiley. Just because that's what they say, you go along with it. And you ain't even listening to any of the other people, what they got to say. So if this is wrong, and I'm not saying it's wrong or it's not wrong. It sounds like it's up in the air right now, right? Go to your freaking people that you elected that do so much for you and tell them to do something about it. Because at this point, what else can be done? Because these will be the same MFers that if somebody came and took Trump, allegedly, all right, no one come for me, okay? Meaning people that be listening. But if somebody came and did this to Trump, they would be celebrating in the streets. Not everybody, but some people would be celebrating in the streets. And then they sat up there and started saying that you can't get on social media, you can't have OF, you can't be showing your ass no more, and started taking away all this crap that y'all love so much, you can't speak out. Then y'all be telling a damn different story, now wouldn't you? Because that could be a thing. If somebody else took over, and then they start telling y'all what you can and cannot do. They started telling y'all what you can and cannot do. Then you see what them freedoms were. You know who found out what their freedoms was? When what's her name was over there in Russia, trying to bring that vape pen back. And they said, hell no, your ass going jail. Y'all over here talking about, it's only a vape pen. Bitch, you're not in the United States when you're over there. You're here. And you can run off at the mouth. Y'all don't even appreciate the freaking freedom that you have. All you want to do, the freedom to even talk negatively and nastily about the person that's the president of the United States. Ain't nothing that man could do to anybody that has the TDS. There's nothing that he can do that's positive as far as y'all's concerned. He saved your stupid ass TikTok, y'all still mad. He saved your stupid ass, funky ass TikTok, y'all still mad. I mean, that's where a bunch of liberals, specifically women, get your stupid opinions out. Or what is Elon on Twitter? I call it Twitter. Or Twitter. Child, y'all can miss me with that. Shout out to Hiram, appreciate you. He said, in one swoop, Trump just got the Venezuelan vote. Oh, definitely that. I agree with you on that. Let me go over here before I move forward to Ma'am Danby has something to say. Shout out to Ma'am Danby because that's what y'all like. Y'all like the people that give you free stuff, okay? Because at the end of the day, Americans are lazy and they want the government to take care of them and then think that they have a freaking say if the government says that no, or you do it my way, or this is what I said, and then they think they can have a say. No, you ain't got no say when you are allowing them to take care of you. Then you turn around and complain about the care that you receive. Well, then do it your GD self. But you know, Americans like free stuff.
We like free stuff. So we came out here to get all this free stuff. But then the car saying, you can't get the free stuff. What? Because the people want to take it. And how y'all going to take some stuff that ain't even yours? It's free.
So I got my 2 baskets and took the bus or whatever.
Wait a damn minute.
We get down here, we get some free stuff.
We're already in a recession. Times are hard. Why not just let us get the items and invest and be okay? We are Black women. We care about our crown. Why not give back to the community and let us get the product? The tools, any other eviction.
So before I talk about Ma'am Danby, whoever this person is here, a troll, right? And I'm sure they're Black, because it's always, why do you like a man who don't like you? For the regular, degular, smegulars, first of all, and most importantly, y'all too worried about who likes you and who don't like you. I promise you, at the end of the day, I don't give a damn about who likes me and who don't like me. That's why this chat is open freely. There's not a subscribers mode. There's not a members only mode. It is you can come over here and watch and you can say what you need to say as long as you're not disrespectful. I've never been worried. I've never been worried about who likes me, whether it was Biden, whether it was Obama, whether it was Bush, whether it was Reagan, because those are the presidents that I've ever been able to vote for. I don't give a fuck about none of it, because it's not about who likes me and who I like. It's about who got the policies that's going to help me get to where I need to be. Let me not forget Clinton. Y'all don't even look at shit like that. Y'all look at who you like and who you don't like because you're too busy listening to motherfuckers that don't give a shit about you. But y'all can continue to do that. Y'all continue to do that and see how that works out for you. I don't care about who likes me on YouTube. I don't care who likes me at work. I don't care who likes me as far as president is concerned. I don't give a shit. Well, if any of y'all went and watched that video that I put out this morning about the reparations in California, they sat up there and said on that damn video, Black people need help with buying houses. They need money to buy houses. Child, we've always had help when we bought houses. There's money out there. But if you motherfuckers don't go look at what's out there for your asses because you're waiting for someone to bring you something, you are your own problem. There's nothing that man can stop that's available to anybody else that's not available to you. So if you want to wait around for the reparations that San Francisco is about to allegedly give out, even though I'm pretty sure that's not going to happen, keep waiting, okay? Wait your whole damn life for some shit from somebody that likes you. Because I promise you, more people don't like you than do like you. But keep waiting. Y'all keep waiting. Not y'all, you know what I'm saying. The regulars. But keep waiting. And you think that I give a damn about none of that? There's nothing that you can do to change the fact that that man is the damn president. So you can sit here and you can seethe.
This is amazing.
You can sit here and you can seethe and be mad for the next 3 years.
This is amazing.
Have the fuck at it. That's on you. Waste your time and listen to motherfuckers that ain't helping you to move forward, that ain't changing your life. Because today is what, the 4th of January? If you in the same position saying the same shit the 4th of January 2027, you a dumb motherfucker. That's it. That's all. Me, myself, forever, I appreciate you. Beggars can't be choosers, but don't tell them that. Please. It's all the same thing that I just showed in that video. That who knew it would be a thing that we would be carrying on all of 2026 is that people like free stuff. They like free stuff because Americans are lazy. And comparing what we have here and what they have there in Venezuela, and then sitting up here talking all that sugar honey iced tea, man, it sounds like they can't do none of that. They can't do none of that. Y'all can run out into the street and start protesting like nobody's fucking business. You don't even appreciate that shit. Y'all don't even appreciate that shit. You can get on that stupid ass TikTok and say whatever the fuck you want. Y'all don't even appreciate that shit. Then we'll turn around talking about, you need to give me food. We about to talk about Ma'am Danby. We want you to pay for childcare, our housing, our food, our everything. Then when he don't do it, shout out to the $3 price of the buses that's supposed to be for free. Y'all still will follow that shit because of your hate for somebody that you don't even know because you want him to like you. Like I said, the person that runs the company I work for probably first of all, they don't know who I am. But just say that they don't like me. I don't give a fuck. Pay me right on the dates that I'm supposed to be paid, at the amount I'm supposed to be paid. That's all the fuck I care about. But that's me. Me, myself, forever. I'm a Black woman. Shout out to you, hon. I see you. I appreciate you. Everyone that's still here, please make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if you are new, my girl. Thank you so much. We love us some messy. Love you back. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Romello up in here. I appreciate you. Boo, he said, Messy, I don't like your cuss words. Jesus, take the wheel. I know I'm supposed to be doing better. It's Sunday. My bad. I'm going to do better. I promise. But over here on, oh, y'all, it's an update on the girl on the boat. All right. I got to look at that later. So Mayor Ma'am Danby's comrades in DSA demand Trump release Nicolas Maduro, solidarity with the Bolivian revolution. Now, I thought y'all said that Ma'am Danby and Trump was getting along. I thought y'all said that. So now he's sitting up here talking about give him back. Ma'am Danby said give him back.
This is amazing.
He didn't say to give the woman back, though. Socialists of a feather flock together. Mayor Zoran Mamdambi's comrades in the Democratic Socialist of America want deposed Venezuelan President Maduro return to power. That show's got, shout out to the NYC. Who's up in here from the New York? The Democratic Socialists of America put out a lengthy statement demanding the return of President Nicolas Maduro and First Lady Celia Flores to Venezuela. Meanwhile, the DSA is starting a join our hands off Venezuela to get the imperialist United States out of the socialist oil-rich country. Solidarity with the people of Venezuela, solidarity with the Bolivarian Revolution, separate DSA International Committee policy statement says. In its statement on the removal of Maduro, the DSA claims the Trump administration has started an illegal war against Venezuela. Are we at war, y'all? I thought y'all said we wasn't at war. Anyway. This is a nakedly imperialistic war to install a U.S. puppet government that will give Venezuela's oil resources over to U.S. corporations and to force U.S.
This is amazing.
hegemony over Latin America. The new Trump corollary to the Monroe Doctrine. This war is illegal both under international law and the laws governing the declaration of war within the United States. The left-wing group statement says Trump's war has nothing to do with drug trafficking. There is no substantiated evidence that high-level members of the Venezuelan government are narco-terrorists. Yet the Trump administration is using this claim as the pretext for this illegal war. DSA likened the U.S. military's action to the failed war against Iraq, claiming it will only impoverish the people of Latin America. Legend, are you still here? Did you write this, child? DSA demands a return of Maduro to Venezuela and restoration of diplomatic relations with the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela, an immediate end to military violence against Venezuela, and a total withdrawal of all U.S. forces and operations from the Caribbean, ending sanctions against Venezuela, and suspending the failed war on drugs, a U.S. foreign policy centered on peace, multilateralism, and respect for national sovereignty and self-determination. Ma'am Danby, a DSA member, said he personally called President Trump on Saturday to express his opposition to removing Maduro, claiming it's a violation of international law. Child, who believe that? Child, who believe that man called? I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it for 1 second, but you know, Ma'am Danby gonna man Danby. That's what we say, okay? But whatever. That's y'all's New York mayor, child. Maybe I should go to Florida instead of going to New York, because child, ain't nobody trying to run into Ma'am Danby and pay $3 for the bus. I wonder what the damn subways cost. Anyway, because I'm assuming the subways are supposed to be free too. Child, we like free stuff.
Season where we don't have electricity, like in your area, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, you are not going to have electricity in your house from 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. And on Wednesday, for 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. And we live with that for so long. Same with the water. The water is coming just 1 hour, 12 to 1. You need to take all the water that you need at that time to drink, to clean, to shower, to do everything in 1 hour.
Wait, what is she talking about? Hold on. Because I know people in the Caribbean where they do have rolling blackouts, which is crazy to me, but we all don't live the same. Something I got to be mindful of. Shout out to Hiram. I appreciate you. He said the 20th Amendment says you got to like me. Child, please. These people are weird. Worrying about, and especially if you're a man. No shade. But child, do y'all really be sitting around like women? It sounds like something women would say. Oh, he doesn't like me. She doesn't like me. Child, I could give a shit who don't like me. But if that's a man that said that shit, child, concerns. If you got a wife, I'm concerned for her. Me, myself, forever, brother from NYC. Right? Oh, okay, boo. Thank you. I apologize. Thank you so much. Shout out to you. Thank you so much. Romello said Exxon is offshore of Guyana, next to Venezuela. Shout out to Guyana. Hopefully I get there one day. Anyway, shout out to y'all. I see you. I appreciate you. Come on, girl. What you saying?
was a season where we don't have electricity, like in your area, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, you are not going to have electricity in your house from 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. And on Wednesday, for 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. And we live with that for so long. Same with the water. The water is coming just 1 hour, 12 to 1. You need to take all the water that you need at that time to drink, to clean, to shower, to do everything in 1 hour. We won't need to say goodbye anymore to our families in the airport. Tell them, see you soon, knowing that it's a lie because you don't know how long it will happen.
Oh, so he was cutting them off big time. Oh my God.
Until you see them again, we celebrate them because we grow up normalizing things that could never be normal, like going to the supermarket and don't find nothing on it, like have all the money that you have in your pockets, but you want to buy food and it's not food in there, knowing that you need to go and do lines at 4 a.m. in the morning, huge lines to get a bag with food, knowing that it's no medicines in the pharmacy and you need to find antibiotics in Facebook, narcoterrorism, corruption. He stole billions of dollars.
So I guess narco-terrorism is a lot more than just maybe running drugs or something. Child, I don't give a damn about none of the oil, but she's right there. She's talking about what it's like. She's talking about what it's like. It sounds like they ain't have shit to me. Maybe I'm listening to it wrong. Y'all tell me what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that she's like, we ain't got no electricity unless he says so. We ain't got no food unless he says so. We ain't got no antibiotics if we sick unless we find it on Facebook. What kind of mess is that? Again, Americans with all their freedom don't be thinking about nobody but their damn selves, child.
He killed a bunch of innocent people in protest. He put on jail. He tortured. Venezuela have one of the biggest torture places, recruitments in the world. Yeah, that very old wise, he's still doing that. He destroyed every democratic institution that can exist in Venezuela. We vote. We have presidential election and he lose and he don't want to leave the power. So what's no other way to take him out? I am more than happy because we tried everything. This was like our last hope. This is what we was waiting for and finally happened. And I am more happy because I feel was a smooth intervention. I thought was going to be more chaotic, like with Panama years ago, but no, they reached 2 a.m. in the morning. By 3 a.m. they take the man out. They don't kill nobody. It's not even a civil person dead. So yeah, I am. A lot of people asking.
So people was asking her questions. This first comment says, man, about the oil bill, where she was saying, we know Trump wants the oil, but China and Russia have been getting oil and not helping one bit. I genuinely hope Venezuela gets better leaders, which is what y'all were saying as well. But again, it doesn't matter what the man does. It would be considered wrong. Child, if they okay with it, just like she said, nobody died. And no, I don't believe troops. They said no troops, American troops are there. So, I mean, I guess they're not there. That's what she said too. Look at Americans' right to go right to the protesters. So I wonder if in Venezuela, if Maduro did something wrong, that they could take their signs, run on down in front of his house and do all this. I'm thinking they probably couldn't.
We want justice, you say how? Intersection right now. We won't pay for war and slaughter. We won't pay for war and slaughter. Trump, right, people die. Trump, right, people die. Trump.
I didn't even know you could get that close to the White House. I could go to DC. I could get there faster. Did they not hear he was down in Florida? Did they not know he was down in Mar-a-Lago? All right.
I'm a Venezuelan that lives in the United States and is a Democrat. Why are you guys shitting on Venezuelans right now? You guys are just being so rude. Like, Do you know how many deaths this man has, how much blood he has on his hands? And yeah, it was Trump. He got him. Am I super happy it was him? No. But you got to give credit where credit is due. Like,
No, they
he
don't do that
did
here.
what no one thought I wouldn't. I never thought I would live to see this. Ever. Like, I'm in shock. And it makes me sad that you guys are just like saying he was a sovereign president. He wasn't. He was a dictator. He was a dictator. Why don't you take this energy to see who he really was and then come back with your opinions? Like, just let us have this moment, please. I'm a Venezuelan that lives in the United States and is a Democrat.
When I seen that video of Venezuela being bombed, I bust out crying. When I seen the videos of Venezuelans in Miami cheering and hip hip hooray, I got fucking confused. Because I'm just like, wait, huh? What do you mean? Like, why are they happy? Why are the ones that's in America, you know, happy that your own people is being destroyed? Can somebody explain that to me? Because that shit doesn't make any sense. Like, that confused the fuck out of me. How are you cheering on the destruction of your own country? Okay, I can't say it's all immigrants because I've had great friends that are immigrants. But one thing I can say is a lot of immigrants do not give a fuck about their own people. They don't.
Maduro was evil, and maybe he got what he deserved. He questioned elections, relied on misinformation to maintain support, used the military against his own people, attacked the independent media, was a criminal, weaponized his justice system, lied about the results of elections, stole from his own people, and used government to enrich his oligarch friends who helped him win elections. Maduro was evil, and maybe he got what he deserved. He questioned elections, relied on misinformation to maintain.
Well, obviously, we know what he's saying here, and I don't disagree with some of the things that he's saying, but do something about it. See, this is the part where I'm saying that all these people that everybody believe in that got elected, you love all these people that you got elected, you think they're supposed to care about you. What are they doing? Isn't it their job to correct this? If the president did something wrong, ain't that what they there for? So what they gonna do? So what are they gonna do? Why aren't y'all going to talk to them? How come they not out here having a meeting for y'all to come and talk to them? They never do that. I never see that. Shout out to Ms. AB. I appreciate you. She said, USA, 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 freedom. Congrats to Venezuela. Thank you so much, hon. I appreciate you. A few more of these, and then I'm gonna look at this video about because we're not getting to daycare today. This video about the girl that went at Elon and then effed around and found out. Okay, but
lied about.
Hi, my name is Paula, and I am Venezuelan, born in.
Her caption says, "Stop explaining Venezuela to Venezuelans. We are happy."
Race. I've lived in the United States for almost 10 years to the date, and I am an American citizen also, by the way. The main reason why I'm coming here today, I'm literally nobody, and if this reaches one person, my job here, that one person that didn't know what was happening in Venezuela, and now they do, my work here is done. I am outraged about the comments I've been seeing today. I made the mistake myself of going on social media and reading all the news outlets reporting on the news of the Venezuelan strikes.
Yeah, don't do that.
Military strikes to remove Maduro. Thank you. And everybody, ton of Americans, and then from whatever you're from, but you've never been to Venezuela, you have no idea about the political situation in Venezuela, the history of Venezuela, and trying to be like our saviors. Like, I can't. Let me set some things straight. First of all, the regime has been going on since 1998 when Chavez was elected president. From there on, their country is the mess, in good words, that it is today. We have suffered a lot. The Senate was dissolved. The Constitution was changed. They bought the military, all the armed forces. Many people have been killed, kidnapped. You can go do the Google search yourself, or just ask, because clearly Google is not working for you people.
Google is your friend.
3 things I want to get across today. 1, Venezuelans are sad. No, we're not. This is literally the happiest day of our life. This is our second independence. We are still in shock, complete shock, about what finally happened. We have been wanting this. We have been praying for this. We have been literally anybody that we have been able to go to and ask, and nobody listened to us. So we are happy. Enjoy. And even if you're a Venezuelan in Venezuela or a Venezuelan outside of Venezuela, in any country that you are, if you left 10, 15 years ago, 5 days ago, or a week ago, we are all happy. So don't worry about us. We're happy. The United States only attacking Venezuela because of the oil. People, we do not control our oil. We haven't seen our oil. Russia, Iran, Cuba, China, whatever other countries, Central America and South America, we've been giving away our oil to all these countries. Like, we're not seeing that. Anyways, so, and we used to have trades and whatever other things with the United States before Chavez about our oil, and our country was working fine. So the way we don't care, don't worry about us. If the United States wants to take our oil, we will be happy to be giving away the oil to the United States. If that
I know they don't like to hear that, child. Oh no. Legend, you still here? You hear this, right?
means that our country is going to be safe, and that us citizens or residents of whatever of Venezuela are going to be good, are going to be able to make money, are going to be able to retire, which none of those things are happening right now. And then number 3, if you're worried about what United States did to Venezuela and that what's going to happen now, nothing, literally, and I mean this, nothing can be worse than the hell we've lived up until now. So stop, and I mean this, stop trying to explain Venezuela to Venezuelans. Stop. If you want to know, reach out to someone from Venezuela, okay? Either that are living there or that left. So again, I am very upset. I am outraged. I spent a dumb amount of time today on social media reading all these comments, and that was my own mistake. And that's why I felt compelled to make this video, leave it open. I am open to answer any and all questions if you're genuinely wanting to know what's going on. Any comments about trying to explain to me what's happening or how I must feel today, like, you're out. I'm not kidding. Thank you very much.
Well, there you go. She said what she said. Anyway, so that's all I can stand for TikTok today. But they said it looks like most of them are happy. We're just going by TikTok and some of the videos where they're on talking to media and everything. I know a lot of y'all, mainstream media, kiss my ass, okay? If there's something that you want to know, carry your ass on over to Google or wherever it is that you want to know some shit from and go figure it the fuck out. It's just not that serious to me. You be the same motherfuckers that's worried about if somebody likes you or not. I promise you, I could care less. But let me go ahead and look at this video from this lady, or well, the creator is Black Anomaly Rising, about the Somali woman who begs for mercy after threatening Elon Musk. Child. See, this is the same freedom that I was talking about before. Okay, people here think that they can do whatever they want to with no consequence, which I'm thinking that over in Venezuela, probably not an option. Probably not an option. But here, you can just go ahead and threaten people and think that you're going to get away with it. But you never know what's going to go viral and who's going to find it out. Your job, Elon, Trump, JD, Joe Biden, I don't know, whoever, Obama. But y'all love to run off at the mouth, child. Love it, love it, love it. So we're going to hear what he has to say. Shout out to him with 23.7 subscribers here on YouTube. This is definitely in reference to the daycare, which I'm not going to be able to get to today, y'all. I will try again tomorrow, depending, obviously, what's going on with this Venezuela stuff, all right? So hit the like button if you haven't subscribed. If you are new, shout out to all of y'all that have made it here and been here this long. I appreciate you.
December 31st, 2025, my life took a tragic turn. I was badly misinterpreted and misheard on a now viral clip. Why is the Somali community under so much heat right now? Like, did I miss something? Hello? Why would you get caught? You scammed the government. Who? Why? Why? Oh my God, the F that don't get that period. Now the galas are turning on us and they're questioning the legitimacy of all Somali businesses. Now this is a horrible PR for us, but first of all, galas, man, it's cool when they do it. It's a problem when we do it. Fuck. Minnesota, I'm really disappointed and I'm really sad.
Turning very Americanized, it sounds like, child.
I'm really disgusted what you guys did. Like that Durutan, I didn't eat shit. I didn't know what I'm eating. I didn't take joking high. Spelling mistakes more with you high.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got to react to this Somali woman finding out. So the Somali community is under fire right now. And this young lady, as you saw from the beginning, is upset. Why can't we just commit crimes in peace? It's cool.
Yeah, just let us go. It doesn't matter. It's okay. Let's keep giving us the millions of dollars from the government. It's okay. Not a problem. It doesn't matter if there's no one in those daycares. Shall mind your business.
When they do it, I wanted to show you who you're dealing with before you see this person's pathetic groveling on screen where they're pretending to be an innocent victim here. But before we get to that, I want to show you how this began with threats to Elon Musk that the person is now denying, of course.
People say like this is fake. I'm like, actually, well, let's look at
let's go for it. Well, I wouldn't worry too much about this one. That piece of joy. I wouldn't worry too much about him.
Child, let me slow this down because I don't know what the hell she's saying. Hold on. You see this freedom that people over here have that they can just talk about people whenever the hell they want to? Come on, child.
This is fake. I'm like, actually, well, let's look at
let's go for it. Well, I wouldn't worry too much about this one. That piece of joy. I wouldn't worry too much about him. He about to die.
Now,
girl, what? What in the world, girl? What?
Well, I wouldn't worry too much about this one. That piece of joy. I wouldn't worry too much about him. He about to die.
Now, in the follow-up video, they're going to try to claim that, they're talking about, well, Elon Musk is experiencing health issues and he's old and all this other stuff. Doesn't make any sense.
Is Elon old? Is he got health issues? I don't know nothing about him.
Whatsoever. Elon Musk is not that old, number one. And number two, I'm not even aware of any health issues that this man is experiencing. Okay. So I don't know what the hell this person's talking about. I personally think they're just trying to cover their ass. But let's go ahead and react to this person just over here just crying like, oh, no. You guys are taking everything that I said out of context. I'm the victim now. By the way, guys, there's a new feature on YouTube where you can hype videos. So be sure to like the video, hype the video.
Musk's name are being voiced in the same breath. I wouldn't believe you, but here I am today. Hello, if you know who I am, do you know why this video has to be made? On December 31st.
Well, now she's speaking clear English and she's a little slow with the... Girl, what is going on? Where all that energy go? Child, she was sounding like the way Trent talks when he's talking to the bird, child. I'm like, who are you talking to?
2025, my life took a tragic turn. I was badly misinterpreted and misheard on a now viral clip.
No. Oh, now she's reading. You see that? Oh, now you're reading. You're not doing free-for-alls now, child?
Today. Hello, if you know who I am, do you know why this video has to be made? On December 31st, 2025, my life took a tragic turn. I was badly misinterpreted and misheard on a now viral clip.
No, they're saying Boo Earns. Boo Earns.
In this clip, my words and what they are being translated to has been taken greatly out of context. I want to make myself clear. I never intended or even aimed to threaten the life of Elon Musk. I'm not a person that carries around hate. The media and Elon have taken my words completely out of context, and it's been deeply hurtful to watch how that's turned into me being dehumanized and painted as a villain. For context, the clip going viral was taken from a longer live segment and edited in a way that removes the heart of what I was trying to say. During that stream, some of my supporters asked me about my thoughts on Elon Musk in relation to his health after viral photos of him in swim shorts surfaced. My intention was to never mock, insult, or be cruel in any way. What I was trying to express came from my personal experience as a...
Child, you should take that over to Venezuela when Maduro was in charge and see what he would have done when he showed up in shorts and you talked that shit and it went viral and see what would have happened then. Allegedly.
asked me about my thoughts on Elon Musk in relation to his health after viral photos of him in swim shorts surfaced. My intention was to never mock, insult, or be cruel in any way. What I was trying to express came from my personal experience. As a person gets older, health becomes more important, and it is something we should all be taking seriously and treat with care. My message was meant to encourage kindness towards our bodies and towards one another if we want to live a long, luxurious life. Instead, that message was twisted.
Oh, she cares for Elon. Oh, here y'all go, caring for people that you don't know. Oh, now she cares for him. Oh, that's sweet. I've heard that a lot, Christopher. Thank you so much. I love hearing that. Shout out to Ava. Shout out to Abbott Elementary. I love it, love it, love it. Shout out to all of y'all still here. This is it. After this, I'm done. I got to eat. As usual. Shout out to all of y'all that made it this far. I appreciate you. Hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you are new.
Health becomes more important, and it is something we should all be taking seriously and treat with care. My message was meant to encourage kindness towards our bodies and towards one another if we want to live a long, luxurious life. Instead, that message was twisted, stripped of its context, and turned into something it was never meant to be. This is more interpreted as dismissive rather than a literal threat. Elon Musk tweeted the same viral video twice. I assume the first time didn't get the reaction he wanted, both hours apart. One where he said, and I quote, "wonderful people," and the most recent time that is currently still pinned at the top of his profile stating, and I quote, "then it is war." While Somali hate is at an all-time high right now, Elon is a...
Oh, now we want to go into the Somali hate. So Somalis think they can say whatever the hell it is that they want to, and then they're going to take a page out of somebody, who is that always be crying racism with regard to everything. Shout out to Ms. AB. Thank you, hun. She said, example of FAFO in a person. She's sorry now. She can save it. We already know she full of shit. Girl, where all the clicking go? Like Jay keeps saying, where all the talking to the bird did go? Where, girl? Now you all reading from a script, all written out. Make sure you say it word for word. All quiet. Now it's Somalis. Oh, poor thing. Let me see if it's still up on his Twitter. She's saying that he's made 2 responses to her, and one is still pinned on his Twitter.
Wonderful people. And the most recent time that is currently still pinned at the top of his profile stating, and I quote, "then it is war." While Somali hate is at an all-time high right now, Elon is a very powerful man and has endless amount of supporters. This will forever be a losing match for me. Elon Musk is coming at me with full force, but I don't remember when I signed up to be an scapegoat, but okay. This tweet has caused me great discomfort. My intentions were to never make Elon Musk uncomfortable or feel unsafe in any way.
Why would you,
I'm sure Elon Musk was not really worried about you. I'm looking at his Twitter, and he has pinned something else different as of 4 hours ago. So she lucky, because I can see it. I can't see it, like physically see it, but I can see him doing that. And then she was like, oh, he's powerful. Oh, well, you should have remembered that when you was running off at the mouth. You should have remembered that when you was running off at the mouth. F around and find out, true AF, okay? Just like Ms. AB said. Child, please. Ain't nobody got no empathy or sympathy for you. Shout out to Romello. Appreciate you. She said, look at me. I'm the victim now. Exactly. As usual, never want to accept any accountability. Did she apologize to that man? Nope. It's not fair. It's not right. It's not fair. Again, you here in these United States able to say whatever the fuck it is that you want to, but gonna sit up here and try to talk about what something should happen someplace else when they could barely even find any damn food. Child, if y'all don't go to hell.
Caused me great discomfort. My intentions were to never make Elon Musk uncomfortable or feel unsafe in any way.
Why would you, if you know that, let me just go ahead and pause this freaking goofy for a second. If you know that, why would you go ahead and use Elon Musk in depth in the same sentence? I could see it if you were saying, like, okay, Sleepy Joe is old, so everybody knows that guy could just, I mean, he's old, he has cancer, he doesn't know where he is. It makes sense. Elon Musk.
I forgot Joe Biden had cancer.
It doesn't make any sense. So this person basically is just, these are crocodile tears, if you ask me. Let's keep going.
I don't know how a billionaire can be scared of a little girl who doesn't have half.
Oh, how can a billionaire be scared of a little... How can a billionaire be scared of a little girl? A little girl running off at the mouth? A little girl that's saying shit she ain't got no business being said? Where your mama at, child? What she got to say about this? Where your daddy at? What he got to say about this? Bringing shame to the family name. Interesting how you get over here to these United States and you think that you're free to do and say whatever the hell it is that you want. Take this accountability and those consequences. Say something about Trump, see what happens. Y'all say something about mostly anybody that's powerful and got some sort of a following and see what, say something against MAGA and see what happens. Honestly, if you say something against them liberals, see what happens. Especially on TikTok. Oh, they coming after your ass. On TikTok with liberals? That's what TikTok is for at this point. Forget the kids. It's for
power, but go off, King. My words have been villainized and my voice has been stolen. Me and Elon Musk's lives are worlds apart. I do not have nearly the same amount of resources he is fortunate enough to have. This whole situation has put me in truly great danger. Private information.
Oh no, not great danger, child. What happened? What they say? What they doing? What's going on? Oh, probably his supporters is all up and through your comments. Remember that when you run off at the mouth saying shit like that.
To have. This whole situation has put me in truly great danger. Private information about me is being displayed all over the internet, and I have received endless amount of threats over this miscommunication, and I truly am in fear for my future. But what a beautiful way to start off the year.
Guys, what do you think? You think that this person is believable and that?
Child, I think and know that she's full of sugar, honey, iced tea. She's just mad that she effed around and found out, like Ms. AB said, and thought that she could sit around here and do and say whatever she wanted to, and there would be no repercussions because of what they're going through right now with everything with the fraud in the daycare and all the other stuff that's coming out, that nobody's going to say anything. Child, people do not give one damn. People do not give one damn. Go talk about them Kardashians. I bet you somebody got something to say to you too. Whatever. You got the attention that you wanted. Enjoy it, child. Enjoy it. Don't be a baby now. I'm just a little girl with some a mouth that's a wreck. A mouth that's a wreck, in my opinion. But anyway, so that's it. That's all. Shout out to y'all. I see you. I appreciate you. Shout out to everyone that donated today. Thank you so much. Please make sure you hit the like button if you have not. Please make sure you go ahead and subscribe if you are new. Like it, love it, hate it. Hit the dislike button. It don't matter to me. Just hit something. All right. Not a person, just something on the damn video. I appreciate y'all. No outro because y'all already know I got to eat. But we'll sit up here. We'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow, regular time. All right. We'll see what's going on. Anything good going on, make sure you send it to me to my email. I see you. I appreciate you. I see you all in